Hi, everybody. Okay, well, welcome to the Lofty Lounge. It's actually, yeah, so I've been doing weird scheduling things. I was supposed to stream Wednesday, but I watched this debate instead. Can you hear me? Yeah. And so so my regular stream was pushed back. Now it's Friday, and I don't even know who's going to show up because it's a weird schedule. But, oh, hi, Fennah. We got Fennah in the chat. We got an artist in the chat, everybody. Look away, Fennah. My background is AI art. Don't look at the screen, whatever you do. This is not a real arcade. Yeah, anyway. No, so I postponed my horror tier list until next Wednesday. And we're going to talk about the debate a little bit tonight. AI art. If I knew he was going to be here, I would have sent him an invite, and I'm not on StreamYard, so I can't do that anymore. But Fennah, if you want to come on and chat about just art in general sometime, I would love to have you on. I have guests on occasionally, and I try to just get different people on to talk about stuff. But it's kind of funny because this debate is like, where's it at? This one here was like 4 hours long, and normally, I don't know. I normally Sitch and Adam do they always do a stream? Don't they just stream for like 8 hours and like people come and go? And like, I guess this was important, so they dedicated like a whole thing to it. But yeah. Fennah says, my arguments were solid. Don't lie. They couldn't win without keeping it in the narrow scope in the next 5 years. Yeah, that's what I wanted to bring up because actually that's a good place to start, to be honest. Because if you go to, where's it at? I have a lot of crap that I've been levying at Shad, but it's like, I'm not trying to do that on purpose. Where the heck is it? It's right here. I like Shad. I think man, if you guys haven't been paying attention to this is hard to explain, but basically he's been like championing. It's like, it's one thing to champion AI art, and it's another thing to put yourself on the pedestal of like the go-to guy to talk about AI art. Like, oh, you know, I've seen so many better AI artists than Shad. It's just kind of, I just wish more people were involved in this conversation. But here's the video I wanted to talk about, because this is what he was talking about, right? So I'm gonna play this. It's short. It's pretty short. I'm gonna play this quick. And this is kind of the crux of the whole thing. And then we can branch out and talk about it. You guys can hang out however long you want. But here's what I think is where everything stems from. Let me make this bigger. Oh shit. There we go. All right.
A point where
see if we can
have an issue and you tell it to fix it and it fixes it.
Can you hear this?
The process of your brain actually developing and creating those connections for itself no longer occurs. And what are the effects of that? I don't think it's helpful for human beings to subvert difficult creative problems with an artificial brain. And no matter what you say about the limitations of AI art now, it's impossible to argue that it won't get better. And it is an artificial brain. That's what it is. It's an artificial mind. It takes things, sure, it takes your input. And I'm not saying you can't be specific with it. You can't tell it what to do. But it is a artificial mind. And you're offloading stress and strain and pressure to that so that you don't need to feel that for yourself. And that does affect the development of the mind. This is just true. If people...
Okay, now hold on. Now, what he was just talking about is like just the general cognitive kind of purpose of AI. It's like what it's about, what it's trying to do. And Shad's response is interesting. Because this is way late in the debate, right? This is way late. Like, it's almost like I wish this was. I wish people talked about this up front. It's hard to say. Look, the first 2 hours of that debate were a little slow, and then it got way better, I think. But Shad's response is interesting.
But you just
True
said
of
there,
children. You agreed earlier that it was
hang
true
on,
of
hang on.
children. Why is
Because
it
you're
not true of
saying
adults?
you're saying you're offloading challenges and difficulties and everything.
Well, you are,
It's
yes.
no, it's not the case with it at the moment. In actual
At
fact,
the
it comes
moment,
with
that's
it.
the key word.
Yeah,
at
for the next
moment.
5 to 10 years, that's still a large period
Oh,
of time where
you're
it's still
so
going
you're
to
right.
challenge people.
Okay.
So you're right until you have a sell by date for your argument. This is new. So
No,
you're
but
right
if we're
until
talking
you're
about
wrong.
currently right now, because that's what is important, what's happening right now.
No, what's
the argument
important
is
is the
valid.
future of our fucking species. What?
Yeah, our fucking species. Look, I think I like Fennah. I actually agree. I agree with that. I just wanted to roast him. I roast all my friends, so whatever. But it's actually important to talk about the future because that's what AI is doing. It's barreling headfirst into the future like a fucking harpoon. Okay? Now, listen. Okay? It's, I got my little thingy majig up top and a little zombie guy. It says, Jonathan, thank you for the donation, buddy. Let's talk about art with a little Monopoly guy emoji. Thank you for the super chat, Jonathan. Oh, I saw you on Twitter talking about, yeah. I think I agree with you. Listen. Vito is a clout chaser. Oh, hi. By the way, hi everybody. Hi Jeff and Sketch and everybody here. Once again, this is a random stream. I'm trying to keep it horror related. Next week it will be back to that, and then whatever. And then we're gonna do Miyazaki streams, and I'm seeing Killers of the Flower Moon tomorrow. I'm gonna do a stream about that. Yeah, this is just tonight. I just wanted to talk about this. Because actually, what happened was behind the scenes, I was doing a little communicating with Fennah and Adam, and I was like, "You guys should debate this." And then Adam was like, "Sure, okay, yeah, if he reaches out." And then he did, and we tried to get another guy involved, and I wanted to be there, guys. I like debating Shad. I've done it before. But here's the thing: I'm not an artist. I'm a video editor, but I didn't think I was qualified to talk about to be the anti-AI guy. It just wasn't my thing or whatever. But I think Fennah did a great job. I like I said, I think it got way better towards the end of the debate. You should watch this entire thing. It's fantastic. Look, this whole debate is just amazing. They go through so many topics. But anyway, here's the guys. What do you think about this idea of evaluating AI in the present, in this isolationist bubble of current day? What's the like evaluating the problems as they come up minute by minute, hour by hour, and then just kind of this is what Shad was talking about. Okay, and if I knew, I didn't even think about this until I saw this debate. I was like, well, this sort of explains everything he's been saying, honestly, because he's been saying stuff like this, right? He's been saying stuff like, here's my main takeaway that I just want to get this point across. Shad, he said this in the very beginning of the debate. He said he was worried that they were going to get bogged down into more nuanced perspective stuff. And 2v1, by the way, yeah, it was 2v1. Dude, I've been on the end of 5v1 debates. It's kind of it's fun and entertaining in front of 3,000 people, but I've been there. I get it. It's but you know what? You did a good job. Shad has been saying this whole time that essentially he's coming from the perspective of somebody who dabbles in AI art, and he's really trying to convert normies. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to attack people who don't understand it, and who don't understand art, and saying things like, if you think this requires no talent, where's it at? I challenge you to make this image of your own character with the same pose, hand placement, sword placement. So he's offering these challenges. He's talking about talent and skill in relation to whatever he's doing, right? Which, in my opinion, is very low. He is an AI art amateur. I've seen people spend dozens of hours coding and making Lauras and doing insane, crazy things with Stable Diffusion, and Shad is not showing that he's doing any of that stuff. He's doing the very basic tutorial stuff, from what I've seen. Now, one thing I just wanted to say, I think it's kind of annoying to say something like, I dare you to do this, and if you don't do it, then I win the argument. Like, I dare you to make this character, I recreate this character and try to see what you can do. Because number one, nobody's gonna waste their time, okay? And he's right, it requires some time and effort to learn Stable Diffusion. Nobody's gonna do that just to prove Shad wrong. The only people that are going to take up this challenge are people that already are familiar with the Stable Diffusion. And it's like, those people, I'm not sure why anyone didn't take up his challenge in the AI community. Maybe they don't want to be associated with him. I don't know. But it's like, just because you don't want to waste your time, you know, spending 15 hours learning Stable Diffusion in order to make this pose, which, let's be honest, I mean, maybe you don't know this, but this pose is not difficult to do. Just speak on behalf, like, coming from somebody who has consumed a lot of, I don't do this myself, but I've watched a lot of people do stuff like this, and it's just not advanced stuff. It's not. So he frames it that way because Shags is right, because I think he's trying to appeal to normies, trying to convert normies to his side. He says this right here, actually. Oh, Fennah says he did not want a wider scope because he can't win the world. The whole context is applied. Yeah, that's why the debate went on for 4 hours. That's why he has to stay focused on today, not the future. Yeah, we're going to talk more about that because the future is bleak, I think. But here's what I had a problem with. Shad says this. I wonder if they will release their, if they will realize that their dogpiling is giving my tweets massive interactions and boosting them. So instantaneously he's talking about interactions, which is kind of shady. Then he says, I've been able to convert so many more people. I have been able to convert so many more people to being open and excited for AI art thanks to them. Now, what is that? Now, this is what I said. I said, it just because you can convert people doesn't mean you're correct. I said, if anything, bragging about how you've managed to manipulate gullible people. And when I say that, I'm talking about normies who don't do any research. They see Shad's post and they go, that makes sense. And then they're converted, right? It's like people who know nothing about AI art honestly checks out. I said, what I've been saying, that's what I've been saying, was my point. I said, you're not communicating with artists, even though he did after I tweeted this, which is a good thing. Congratulations, Shad, because I thought that debate was good. I said, you're condescendingly calling them fragile and profoundly ignorant, which he has. He's called people that in his videos. Anyone who criticizes him is profoundly ignorant. Profoundly ignorant. While you yourself are appealing exclusively to normies who are ignorant of both art and AI and not capable of nuance. Or they are capable of nuance and they just don't have the time to really think hard about this stuff. But anyway, he did have a thing. He did have a thing with Fennah. So just trying to get some of that stuff out of the way. If you now hold on a second, we have more people here. Shags is here. There's some things that I wanted to say. I wish I was involved in this because I wanted to bring up some stuff. There's a fascinating now. I guess we'll just get this out of the way. The future conflict. I think I have a timestamp besides what I showed you already. Hi Steven and Sketch. And what did Mike say? They probably just don't care. I have a bunch of timestamps. Bear with me, guys. Jeez. I can't remember where the future. If I find it, I'll find it. He said basically this. Right now, the AI struggles with posing and fingers and replacing heads and replacing body parts and making muscles bigger and smaller and stuff. And he's like, well, he says it takes a skilled person to manipulate the AI to get the image you want. And he's like, yes, you're correct about this. Okay. But Fennah was saying, I wish I had a timestamp. It's like this whole first half of the interview, really. It's like,
who said I'm keeping it list?
Well, you will
can deal with it.
I have it on 2 times speed. That's hard to listen to. Fennah was just basically saying that, like, yeah, that's the case right now, but in 10 years, we're gonna have tools. If you want Superman beating up Batman on a picture, and you want them like hitting each other with like rubber duckies, and you want the rubber ducky to have the head of like Abraham Lincoln, and then you'll this is going to be so easy to do in 10 years. It's just a matter of simplifying. Think about how they simplified the cell phone, guys. It's so simple. Clicking on apps, opening an app, clicking on a button, clicking on things. You know, any kind of technology is the whole point of technology is to simplify stuff. It's to simplify stuff. Now, AI that's the main goal with AI in general, isn't it? To make things easier for everybody. And so essentially what Shad's doing is arguing against his own. At first, he was making arguments on Twitter about how you have to be so skilled, and that's why AI art is that's why he's using it as a reason as to why AI art is valuable and like a form of art, like a worthwhile form of art, and then you can be an artist. He's using a temporary, fleeting, Fennah made a good point. He's like, yeah. 2 years over like the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years compared to the rest of human species is like you snap of a finger. Like that's where Shad's operating. And it's like, that's fine. But like, you're at some point you're going to stop becoming an artist. If you call yourself an artist right now, an AI artist, and you're just going to be a thinker. You're going to be a thinker. Because if you can think up an idea and it comes to fruition in 10 seconds, I don't think you're an artist at that point. And there's a whole thing going on, but chat, feel free to argue amongst yourselves or whatever. But like, I wanted to talk about this. This is kind of important. First, I wanted to bring this up. 150 timestamp. Let me go to 150. 150. This is an important thing. And look, I'm not saying Shad's not an artist. Clearly, he's an artist.
I agree with Shad on it.
with his drawings and things. I would have pushed back harder than Sam did in the interview about the current talent that it takes to do what Shad's doing. I think it's like minimal talent. I think it's minimal. That's a whole other conversation. Like, what is an artist? What is an artist? Is somebody who takes the Mona Lisa and then colors like a Joker smile on top of it? Is that person an artist? I don't think so. I don't think so. The definition of artist and art are very subjective, but I think an artist is more easy to define than art. I think it involves. I think there has to be some sort of majority human input into the thing that you're doing in order for you to really call yourself an artist. That's just it's very generic, but play the clip I put up today. Oh, let me find it. But this one at 150, we're talking about human input versus the ideas. It's like a 50-50. I want to talk about that thing. Very important to talk about, but give me a second. Let me pull up what he's talking about. Well, thanks for staying here, Sam, because, oh, by the way, guys, Sam, I'm going to pull that up, actually. Well, fuck. You made another video today? Oh, I see it. Is it this one, buddy? Is it this one? Sam has a YouTube channel. Everybody go follow it. Here is, oh no, this is his breakdown of, this was fun to watch, man. Holy shit. It was fun because I get this weird, I don't know, you were like depressed the whole time and it was like kind of fun to watch you be depressed, but I sympathized with it. And then it's just really good. I would recommend people check this out. But anyway, he's got a YouTube channel. He does incredible animations. I brought up like the Gorillas as like a sort of a comparable. If you like music video, Gorillas music videos, like, I don't know, it just reminds me of some of this stuff. But he's got a book, like, look, we're gonna go to this while he gets back to me. Is that the video you wanted me to do? Just wanted to put this out there because I'm getting this. Where's it at? Uh-oh. There we go. This is the book Amygdala, and it's a hardcover. You can get a hardcover. And but it's this really cool like actual book with like look at that, but with illustrations. And so just wanted to put that. I think the book looks amazing. I'm gonna get it, and I don't know where else you want people to get it from, but you can let them know in the thing. But yeah, go sub to this guy. Where were we at? Sorry, I'm a little all over the place right now. I'm sorry. Here's the video. Oh shit.
Fennah, who I believe is the gentleman you discussed with yesterday.
Yeah. How are you, mate?
Okay. Oh!
Don't swindle. Shant claims that because the option to challenge ourselves will still be there, which is true, that we will therefore opt in for that challenge. No, not most people. Most people do not play hard mode on video games.
Look, I wonder, because my counter to Fennah is he thinks that AI art is going to be the predominant contributing factor to lead to this kind of worrying dystopian future. And again, I've seen there's been automation that has made things so much easier for humans on so many other levels where it hasn't led to that. I think if we want to address the worry about technology doing everything for us and making life so easy where we're not challenged at all, there's other things to worry about. And again, for a good while, like I think 5-10 years, there's still heaps of challenges in AI art. And if you're dealing with them now, where we're at, there's no problem in using AI art because it still challenges you and it enables people, and you get all these benefits and everything. And so I say, go to town, have fun.
Oh, you're zooming in on something.
Be great. And worry about the main things that will lead to that. And if it gets to a point where AI is actually, we're seeing like that's happening, then I think you could entertain his claim more seriously. But it isn't the case at the moment.
I can see the rationale he's making, absolutely, because we've seen it in many other aspects of life as well. And there's going to be a point where we need to look at.
It's true that he's being transparent about that now, which is like, that's what he's exactly saying.
How humans live and question whether or not it's healthy. There's a lot of questions like that could be asked, and we're probably going to have to, because the old saying, like, strong men create good times create weak men, there is a core of truth to this.
I agree.
So there it is. I mean, he said it in the other debate too. It's like, he says something like
to that. I think if we want to address the worry about technology doing everything for us and making life so easy where we're not challenged at all, there's other things to worry about. And again, for a good while, like I think 5-10 years, there's still heaps of challenges in AI art.
It's like, oh, okay. Like, why is that a good thing? Like, why? Like, here's my point. Okay, if you're trying to say that you agree that it's good to overcome challenges and like learn and grow and involve your brain and like trying to figure shit out by yourself. He never really came out and said like, I 100% agree. That's the main principle that I have. I think he's skirted that thing forever, but it should be everybody's main principle. That's a main principle of humanity, right? But he just said that like, if that's what you think, then for the next 5 to 10 years, we're still going to be able to do that. And it's like, yeah, he kept saying this over and over again, but like, why is it a good thing that we're limiting we're limiting it to the next 5 years so that like, it's like we know the world's going to end. I'm just giving a stupid analogy, but like, it's like we know that this comet is coming and we can prevent it, but it's like, oh, we don't have to prevent the comet from hitting us until it's just about to hit us. Then suddenly might have to start thinking about it. And he said this again later on in the debate with like a sell by date. He said this later on with sentient AI. Okay, think about this. Sentient AI coming out, like, iRobot and stuff like that or whatever, Ex Machina. He said it's like he doesn't want that at all. He thinks that should be addressed, and we should refuse to take it that far. But he never said that we should prevent it from happening. He just said when it happens, we should be against it. And it's like, well, yeah, when the zombie apocalypse happens, we should be against it. But like, that doesn't mean we should start like manipulating viruses into people and trying to like see what happens just because it's fun and because we can. It's like stick people with needles and be like, this is fun and we're doing science. We're doing science. Meanwhile, 5 years from now, when this shit like mutates, it's gonna kill us all. And then it's like, well, right now though, we're doing science, so we're actually doing things with her. I don't know. I just don't. That was the worst possible defense he could have possibly made, that entire debate. But like, what do you think, chat? What comet? No, there is a comet coming in April, somewhere in our solar system. AI advanced so far in just 18 months as it already is, the comet. Shag says you were so distracted by the fact that you could do it, but you never stopped to ask that you should do it. That's this fucker right here. This fucker. Oh no, hold on. I keep bringing this too far. Mr. Dr. Malcolm. Dr. Malcolm. Right here. Now, look, this movie is a brilliant... I don't want to be apocalyptic, and I know Sam was saying he's not being apocalyptic either. It's like AI art is not the hill to die on for the apocalypse. It's clearly a hill to die on for like lack of human creativity, right? And it's like, who's our Dr. Malcolms? Do we have a Dr. Malcolm? Apparently it's this Sam. And then also this other guy, Reed, who I wanted to bring up quickly. I want to talk about, don't go anywhere, guys, because what I'm going to bring up is interesting. I'm going to discuss this thing called well, number one, we're going to talk about human input versus like idea input, and like, that's going to be fun. But then we're going to talk about films and video games, okay? Because there's interesting things to talk about with those, and some other stuff. But what was I saying? Oh, this is what chat. Yeah, watch this. I got to pull this thing up that. Oh, this guy, Reed. Now, I just wanted to. Now, I'm not friends with Reed. I've met him, talked with him in DMs and stuff. But like, I thought he did a pretty good job. Anyway, this is something I wanted to address because I think it's wrong and I think it's crazy. But here's what Shad was saying about people levying criticism against him, and this one guy in particular who was supposed to be on that debate, but he didn't want to talk to him.
3D references. It's pretty
okay, hold on. So this guy Reed was doing, I can't remember his last name, but he works for he's a Hollywood artist and stuff. He is a concept artist, and he was sort of picking apart Shad's claims that he's a really talented AI artist, but it's kind of insane. But anyway, this is what they said about his concept art.
These are my opinions. Like, that seems, even if that's not using 3D references, it's pretty uncanny.
Yeah, like the background doesn't seem perfectly blended with... But, all right, so this is an interesting thing, right? Of course, this is a brilliant piece of art, but if we wanted to apply the same level of scrutiny that people have been throwing on me, well, we can. And, I mean, if I was to say that, it feels artificial. It doesn't feel natural or real.
I have seen people work on 6 months of Blender training, doing better stuff than that.
Okay, first of all, that guy's bullshitting, number one. Number two... Now, Fennah, yeah, I want to talk about the Luddite thing actually next, because that's stupid. But number two, oh, bye, Steven. Number two, this guy's a concept artist, and Shad apparently doesn't know what that means. So when you do concept art for films, yeah, it's going to seem, what did he say, artificial?
Background doesn't seem perfectly blended with... But the artist...
Not using 3D references. It's pretty uncanny.
Yeah, like the background doesn't seem perfectly blended with... But the
So it's uncanny. It's
Right, so this is an interesting
it's
thing, right? This is a brilliant piece of art, but apply the same scrutiny. Well, we can, and I mean, if I was to say that, it feels artificial. It doesn't.
okay. It's uncanny. It's artificial, right? And he said he's applying the same scrutiny that people laid on him to this guy's art. Now, number one, this guy's doing intentional uncanny valley artwork because that's what the fuck concept art is. If you don't know what concept art is, you need to just do some research, because concept art is showing a company or a producer what something might look like in motion or on a theater, you know, a IMAX screen. It is not. Concept art is not it's not like a finished product or something you would show at a museum or something. That's just Shad's just this uncanny stuff and this artificial criticisms that it's stupid, because that's not the point. It's just dumb. I can't believe he actually doesn't know that, but kind of freaked me out a little bit. And then number two, Shad's art, it should, if you're criticizing Shad's art, which they are, for being a little uncanny, a little photorealistic, you know, having weird light sources, I'm telling you right now, guys, he didn't try to do any of that stuff. He generated an image, a pose for his Supergirl, and it happened. And then he used this Laura that has this photorealistic art style. And it's like, yeah, I guess that's the style he wanted to go with. But when you criticize somebody for like a pose or like a perspective issue with their AI art, what you're actually criticizing is the AI. It's like the AI, he just picked this pose and he went with it. And then he spent when he does this stuff, he's doing like 1% of the final image. Everything else is AI. It's like, we're not allowed to criticize the AI now because Shad did 1% of the work. Like, that's insane. Anyway, but like, I just wanted to bring that up because I felt, Reed didn't get a fair chance to like talk back and forth with Shad. I mean, they did their video essays, but I just think that concept art thing needs to be understood. People need to know what that is. Okay. It's stupid. I don't know. I think Shad knows that, but he was being bad faith in this clip. That's just my opinion. So anyway, here we go. We're gonna talk about the Luddite thing is dumb because look, it's very complicated. Like, imagine, let me turn my music back up. Imagine, this is my opinion. I'm not speaking for anybody else. Do I think it sucks that people working at grocery stores are being replaced by automatic checkout machines? Yes. Number one, because I don't like fucking using those stupid machines. That's very annoying. Number two, those are entry-level jobs for people. Those are like ways to build your... Yeah, I just think it's not a great solution for the progress of our species. But, oh, thanks, Fennah. Hey, dude, go to bed. Yeah, go to bed. You can check in tomorrow, and maybe we'll talk in DMs or something. I'd love to have you on to talk about your book and art in general and movies. That's my passion is cinema. So thanks for hanging out, man. All my points are in the debate. Yes, they're all in the debate. I'll reiterate that, and I'll talk about your book at the end of the stream and stuff. So thanks for joining, man. Look. Guys, I think my main thing is this. I could be wrong. You could disagree with me. I think artists and creative people are more. I think we should protect and we should be more protective of these people than almost anyone else on the planet in terms of their contribution to society. I think art is the soul of our human species. Number one, I think you could come up with, how am I wrong about that? And when I say that, I mean protect as in, yeah, if you're saying you're a Luddite for not wanting to use technology to advance in some areas, I agree. Some people are Luddites, and sometimes it's okay to replace people. Sometimes it's for the betterment of, like, you get to make more food that way. You get to feed more people that way or whatever. But my point about AI artists is, look, I think we should go out of our way. I think it's not an elitist thing. It's not an elitist thing. It's not elitism. I think we should just all collectively agree, though, that like storytellers, writers, artists should never be replaced, ever. And it's like, oh yeah, but what about all these other people that are being replaced? Yeah, it's like some of that's bad, but some of it's good. I don't think replacing artists is a comparable thing, because there's a difference between somebody who tells an amazing story that resonates with billions of people around the world, like Star Wars, and somebody who picks up, who puts poop down on a field and like, fertilizes fucking fields and picks, plants out of the ground. There's just a big difference between that person and an artist. And if it sounds callous, it's not really callous. I'm just talking about like our soul, like our humanity and stuff. Like it's only callous if you're talking about it from the jobs perspective, right? Does that make sense to people here? Maybe there's a better way to say that. But no one's saying you're elitist, but what you're saying is extremely dangerous. I'm not saying anything. I'm saying I'm not saying regulate AI or anything. I'm saying collectively we should all discourage people from implementing this in every creative field as fast as humanly possible, which is what we're currently trying to do. I think we should just discourage it. That's not dangerous. I think we should encourage artists to be artists and to do their storytelling and their art in ways that are challenging and satisfying to advancing their skills and talents and things like that. Another thing I wanted to say is, all right, let me reset my brain here for a second. I think artists are part of the conversation when you talk about art. This is something I wanted to go to. I'm gonna go to a clip. First of all, I'm going to 150.
Yes, I think it really depends, and I wouldn't put it down to a percentage.
I'm gonna show this clip first, and then we're gonna talk about what Shad said something about art being brilliant, and I disagree with it, but
it would be close to 50-50. If you have a great idea and you execute it,
oh, here we go. Sorry,
like shite.
My head.
Adam says, let me go back to Adam asks a question.
Okay.
Mhm.
Like 80% of what I first envisioned is in that final result.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, this bothered me too. Let me go back slightly.
50% of it is the idea, which is where I come out with the AI thing, because if you're coming to an AI art project, I mean, what you want to execute is at least 50% of what you're doing, even if the AI can execute it flawlessly.
I can give an
I-
example with my recent art piece I
Well-
posted on Twitter. Like what I had in my head, okay,
Mhm.
like 80% of what I first envisioned is in that final result.
Okay, so he's talking about this probably, right? Let me find it. This thing. And is I think he's talking about because he did hand-drawn art, and then because of that, it turned into this, and he drew it. I don't know how he did this process. I'm not sure. But if he's talking about his Superwoman thing, look. This is not 80% of Shad. This is not. This is 1%. Less than 1% of Shad is in this picture. Less than 1%. He generated a pose. This is a better one. He generated a pose. He liked the pose and fiddled. He fiddled with, if you count the shading, the curves, the specific curvature, the muscles, the armor, the skirt, everything about. He didn't do anything, man. He might have like thought of this in his head, but the AI spit it out. It's like, I don't like that argument, but
Right.
Okay. But getting the AI to accurately depict what I had in my head and envisioned so clearly was damn difficult. That's
a
the challenge.
challenge. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Sam, go ahead. Yeah.
So Sam makes a
Okay.
good point here.
So I agree with Shad on this. I think it
Speed up a little
really
bit.
depends, and I wouldn't put it down to a percentage. It would be close to 50-50. If you have a great idea and you execute it like shite, then you can definitely taint the quality of that idea in the execution. You can fuck it up, and you could have a completely shit idea and pull that off magnificently. And so when you say that you think the execution process is 50% of it, isn't that significant? Like, isn't that the part that AI is threatening?
Okay, that's important. Adam posed a question. How much? I skipped that after that, but what he said, the question was, how much of, if there's a formula, how much of let's say you have a painting, let's say you have a panel in your head of a beautiful samurai, a beautiful girl, Japanese girl in a kimono, and then like walking next to a samurai like bodyguard or something. You have this. And you have this thing in your head, and then you pump it out with AI or something, or you write. Let's say there's two images and they're identical. One of them was AI, and the other one was hand drawn, digital, everything by a person. What's the significance of the creation process versus the significance of the idea? And it's like, they both kind of agreed that it's like maybe 50-50 because you could go in either direction in different scenarios, right? Like, why is Pacific Rim such a good movie? Well, it's not the idea. The idea is just giant monsters fighting and robots. The reason why that movie is so good, guys, is because of the effort and talent and engineering and everything that went into the creative process of that movie that turned into this epic action genre movie, sci-fi movie. And it's like the movie, here's what I'm trying to say. I personally value that 50% that what I just described, that human input as opposed to the idea. I value that very, very, very highly. I know Sam said the same thing. I think it's important that we value those things highly. And if AI replaces that process of blood, sweat, and tears, creating something from nothing with a challenge that is like overcome, that's like really impressive, and it's like, wow, how the fuck did Guillermo del Toro pull that off? Who's his cinematographer? Let me look up that guy's name. Okay. Then let me look up, where did they film that? Was that in China? Oh no, they used a backlot in Hollywood. Wow, that's impressive. There's so much that goes into these movies. Okay. And any kind of art. I'm telling you guys, for me, it's more than 50%, but it's like, it's not necessarily about the final product. It's about the journey and the creativity, the mind behind it, who did it, who's involved. If you think about the word brilliant, like what makes something brilliant or like a masterpiece or something, right? Shad says something, and I'll find this in the debate, but Shad says something like, something that's brilliant. Oh, it's 305. It's 305. It's 305. Well, I'll go to that next, but just listen to this.
Well, it is, but if you look at it,
and yet you think it's important.
No, look, if we develop an AI,
yeah, it's weird. It's like they all agreed that the creation process is important, but then they're struggling to defend AIs replacing that with, and this is how Adam responds.
AI that can execute flawlessly, then then everyone is just competing on the idea, because no longer are we competing on execution. Anyone can do execution perfectly.
But
I still think the competition, but I still think the competition on the idea is interesting and worthwhile.
I am
I'm
not
Sam,
disputing that.
Well,
and in addition to this, right, there are many mediums in which the work needed to execute the idea becomes easy and easy, and sometimes it's almost effortless. There are tools already.
I disagree with what Chad's saying here, but the point is, Adam is saying, oh, even if AI takes over the world and everybody's on equal playing field, the ideas themselves are still going to be, there's some sort of competition to be had. And it's like, yeah, that's true, but what we're talking about is a totally different society that we don't currently live in. We don't currently live in that society. It's like, it's kind of scary to think about, like, how many competing ideas are, who's going to have the best idea? And it's like, it's no longer about who made the best movie or who did the best writing or best cinematography, best editing. I'm just going to go to the Academy Awards. I know they're dumb and stupid and gay, but like, they have categories like that for a specific reason. Like best visual effects, best cinematography, best writer, best adapted screenplay, best performance. What we're doing, guys, is we're inherently placing value on artists that are specified to do certain things that are like, and we say, this one person did something better than, more profound and brilliant than anyone else did in that year, and the Academy Awards are supposed to be wholesome and sort of a beautiful thing. They've devolved into politics, but that's just, pretend that's not the case. I think it's important, guys. When you say like a movie is a masterpiece or brilliant, what are you saying? What exactly are you saying? Are you saying, oh, that's a really good idea? That's a really good, that's just a beautiful story. I think brilliant things are unique and rare. And it should always be like that. Unique, rare, things that like that like push boundaries, things that like do something innovative. These are all what we, when you think of something as a masterpiece or a brilliant work of art, like they're not supposed to be all over the place. Like, imagine if we had a society of 70 million trillion thousand gazillion brilliant movies. And it's like, yeah, that's fun, but like, we no longer have anything to be proud of. It's really kind of gross, I think, in a weird way. It's hard for people to wrap their heads around that. Hey, what am I wrong about, Flaccid? Come on, correct me. Anyway, like, I don't think I'm wrong at all. I think half the reason why I watch films and I appreciate a movie like a Tarantino movie is because of fucking Quentin Tarantino, not because the movie's great, which it is. But why do you think he's a household name? Why do you think people say, oh, that's Tarantino dialogue? Oh, that shot is so that editing sequence is so Tarantino. Like, we as a society appreciate the work and effort and creativity and unique, innovative things that go into these projects. We just do. If everything is equally brilliant, number one, that's impossible because that's not how human beings are. There's like one out of, like, genius is a rare thing because that's how our species, not everyone's a genius. It's just fucking biology. But like, Tarantino's overrated. Well, then pick Francis Ford Coppola or Martin Scorsese or Andrei Tarkovsky or Ingmar Bergman or whoever the heck, or pick Hideo Kojima or something, right? Anyway, like, I don't want to get bogged down into that thing because it's hard to talk about. I wish I had somebody to talk to about this. And somebody says it's a you'll know nothing and you will know and you will do nothing and you will like it. Jazz Comics, thanks for that. Lofty Flaccid says AI gives your brother the ability to create graphic novels by himself. AI art gives your brother the ability to create graphic novels by himself. How do you think this is a bad thing? Well, number one, I didn't say that's a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm saying there are positives and negatives to AI. Clearly, there are. Now, I could give you a very obvious example. If we have tomorrow, if you wake up and then Amazon's like, hey, we developed, guys, or Apple is like, guys, we have this AI robot that can be your friend, and it knows your personality, and it can have ChatGPT installed in its brain, and it can just talk to you and be your friend, and it's indistinguishable from a person. Okay, Flaccid. Number one, that is super duper duper beneficial to a lot of people who have no friends, or have disabilities, or who can't, or paralyzed, right? Who have nobody to talk to. That's very beneficial to those people. No, however, it's absolutely horrible if you start thinking about that rabbit hole and how that can affect children. Imagine like a child like staying home every day after school, and because they want to go hang out with their artificial intelligence robot friend instead of real kids and real other people, making friends in the real world. That is a recipe for disaster. Okay. So it's not black and white. And just because I'm complaining about some aspects of AI art doesn't mean I think AI art is bad for everybody. It's just simple. So that's just one example of how AI art could just destroy socialization. It could isolate everybody to the point where they only want to talk to their AI buddy instead of no other person. That's stupid. That's horrible. It's dumb. Look, Flaccid, if you want to come on, look, I don't have StreamYard's link. I'm on my OBS, but I don't know how else to do it. Discord, maybe? We could set it up later. Megan, dude. Crystal said Megan. That's a good example. It's actually kind of what I was thinking about. The movie Megan. It's exactly what I was thinking about. Lofty, AI art isn't AI. I don't know what that means. It's already like that. Look, if it's already like that, we should not just go, oh, well, we can't do anything about it. We should just discourage people. I'm not trying to regulate anything. Holy shit. Okay, now.
In 3D modeling and stuff like that, that can do so much of the work for you. Then there are certain art mediums in which they have.
I don't want to get bogged down into this one. I wanted to go to a specific time frame, which is this. 305. No, not 305. Give me a second. There's so many things. There's so many things to talk about. Number one, I just wanted to get this out of the way. I think Shad is. I'm just being honest with my interpretation of this debate. I think Shad is coping and using the sliver of time that we have before AI is out of control as like his only barrier of where, okay, he's only going to be right for the next 5 years. And it's like, he's way too optimistic about the future. Like, he's said many times when Sam was challenging his optimism, and it's like Sam was like, "Look, I'm not an annihilationist or a nihilist. I'm just challenging your perspective on the optimistic worldview you have." And then Shad's just like, "Yeah, I'm optimistic." He just says it. He's just like, "Yeah, I'm totally optimistic," and it's like, how? How can you be optimistic? You have to have some pessimism when it comes to AI. Like, it's like, anyway, let's get to this thing I was going to bring up. We did the human input thing. I want to talk about movies again and Tarantino because that's a thing. Hold on. Adam and Sitch came up with an analogy about Minecraft that was kind of interesting. Like doing Minecraft in creative mode versus doing Minecraft in survival mode. Like, if you build something, is it still the same? Is it still just as impressive? And I'm like, no, it's not as impressive, but it's still impressive architecturally. If you build it block by block in creative mode, it's still impressive that you came up with that castle or design. It's just easier to do, and you're taking shortcuts. But in that case, the shortcuts are not erasing talent. All they're doing is erasing time and effort. I think AI is completely obliterating talent, completely obliterating it. And then they talked about that too. I'm trying to get to the fucking. Oh man, I don't remember what I was going to even talk about. Let's go to this. Snafu, why are y'all scared? Why? How is AI getting out of control? I don't know. I think I can't tell if you're trolling or not, Snafu. I can't tell. Let's get to another thing. I can't even read my own notes. Oh, here we go. 305. Let's go to 305.
Destroy AI or drag it down. It's just that I'm concerned that where we're at now, we're not going to make the best of it.
I honestly believe AI art.
Okay.
Yeah, I honestly believe AI art can be embraced and not contribute to those negative cultural things that you see.
I hope that is true. I don't think it is, though. I think it will contribute to.
Okay, well, Shad just said it right there. He just like, I don't think AI art is going to contribute to any kind of negative cultural, backlash, problems at all. It's like, how are you so optimistic about, like, now Sam, some people could be like, Sam, why are you so pessimistic? And it's like, because naive optimism is not the same as a responsible pessimism. There's two completely different things, guys.
To those worst impulses that have been playing out for the past. For
nowhere near to the level where it's the primary cause. Like, even if it did, it's not the primary thing that's causing it.
I think
there are other things that you could address that would have a much bigger thing. And again, I think the actual utilization of AI art actually encourages more artistic expression. It encourages people to do more traditional art and do it in complementing ways and things.
I think isolationism is a really fucking it's a
problem.
It's a massive problem. I mean, fuck.
Now, that's that. Now, what Shad just said is there's two different discussions really kind of happening. But Shad is saying AI art is going to allow many, many, many more people to be very, very creative. And they just got off a whole fucking part. It's hard for me to pull this. It's such a long debate. But they were talking about stuff like this. They were like, what happens when AI art is so advanced where you could be in your own house and you could just say, hey, buddy, AI art buddy pal, make me an adaptation. Oh, this might even come up. Where's the Wheel of Time thing? Is this the Wheel of Time thing? Oh, 358. Let's go to 358. The Wheel of Time thing. This is what Shad said.
My movie tonight. I think most people are gonna private bubbles and create their own.
This is it.
Sammy G, thank you so much. Says, I'm on Team Shad on this AI art debate. I would love AI to help me make more. I think AI can help gatekeep bad artists out, raise the bar for artists now, and condense reference search time for pieces.
Wait, are you against gatekeeping? Isn't that the whole point?
Sammy's in favor
I
of
am.
it, so.
Yeah, maybe.
He's
I don't know which side. That sounds like you don't know which side your bread is buttered. But...
There you go.
Hold on.
Harrison Jodit says, if movies become less of a job and more of a hobby, which anyone can do but very few get paid to do, what effect might this have on woke Hollywood?
Destroy it.
If movies, okay. He says, if movies become less of a job and more of a hobby for everybody, what effects is going to have on woke Hollywood? Now here's what he says.
And I can't wait.
No, what it will do is all the people who consume woke Hollywood will recede into their own private bubbles and create their own private fucking woke Hollywood. It will just be.
But they can do that.
Let
them make what they want, and we can make what we want.
Yeah, and then we're not connecting anymore, and that's the thing. We're not sharing ideas.
The best stuff will still be shared.
But I think it will be shared. But everyone
cross bubble.
Oh, this is such a wild concept, guys. Imagine if AI got to the point where you can sit at home and generate your own like Lord of the Rings adaptation of a television show. And it's like, here's my specifications. I want the characters to be the same exact race, the same exact gender. I want them to have the same exact personalities. Meanwhile, somebody else could be like, I want these characters to be modernized. I want it set in modern day. People can tweak their own little thing, right? Now, imagine if like we're all doing that. And it's like, we're creating this bubble where everybody enjoys their own version of something. And it's like, it's no longer everybody. Do you guys remember when Elden Ring came out and everybody was playing it at once? And we were all going, oh, yo, this game's fucking awesome. Did you get to that one boss on that one like tower, like the 7th floor of that tower yet? And I was like, no, what are you talking about? And they told me how to get there. And then I was like, oh, but in order to get there, I have to like kill this mini boss. And it's like, how do I do that? And then like my buddy's like, oh, okay, so you got to change your loadout. You got to do this. Look, this is something that is very, that gamers, that certain communities hold very, very close to that. They're like, it's important to a lot of people. Sharing experiences, sharing the hobby is so fucking important to people. Okay. And imagine if everybody had their own Elden Ring in its own style, in their own house, and suddenly no one's saying anything at all. So what are you going to talk about? Like, I'll be like, oh hey guys, my Elden Ring has like this dragon that has like a pizza that he like is eating, and then he spits pepperonis out at you, and the other guy's like, oh, okay, that sounds dumb. Mine doesn't have that. And it, like you'll where's the sharing of the hobby? Where's the appreciation of like the actual work of art that exists in reality, that everybody's saying, you know, even if you say you don't like it and somebody else likes it, like there's a conversation to be had. There's a cultural networking, a connection there. It completely goes away. 100% gone. No one's ever going to have those conversations ever again. I don't know how Shad comes up with this idea that he just said it. He just said it right here. He's like, what did he say?
Private bubbles and create their own private fucking woke Hollywood. It will just be.
But they can do that. Well,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
let them make what they want. We can make what we want.
Yeah, and then we're not connecting anymore, and that's the thing. We're not sharing ideas. We're
No.
creating ideas for ourselves.
The best stuff will still be shared.
I don't even know what that means. Like, I think that's just a devil's advocate thing he just said, just because. Like, if everybody's making AI art, guys, if everybody on the planet Earth is making AI art, and it's all like, and like, you know, let's say you want to watch a medieval show, and there's like 1 million of them to watch. How are the best going to be shared? Like, we already don't even have that. Number one, we have the society that we live in currently, even without AI. The best stuff's not even shared very vocally. The best shit, largely speaking, gets sort of undercut by the most popular mainstream conveyor belt shit. And it's like, that shit is shared way more, way like more. And how are you, and if you're saying that AI art is somehow going to fix that problem, I think AI art's going to exacerbate that problem, make it worse. Like, imagine even more normies in control of things, just making things that are normie, pop culture related stuff that's just like all over the fucking place. You understand that Mark Miller, that you understand that people like Alan Moore, who wrote Watchmen, like there's like, he's like one in a billion, guys. His ideas and his execution and all of it. The reason why Watchmen is such a brilliant comic book is because we've all discovered this guy and propped him up and realized collectively that he is doing something completely original and different and unique and brilliant. And it's like, imagine now, there's a lot of people like Alan Moore that are not currently, people don't talk about. There's a bunch of Alan Moores actually that get like, they don't get enough attention. Instead, we're talking about Ahsoka every fucking day of the week, or Loki. And it's like, yikes, guys. I don't even know. This is such a complicated, it's such a complicated thing. I just don't see, if you have no pessimism whatsoever, or like worry about introducing AI art and like encouraging every single person to use it, to me, you're delusional. Like you're way, you have this utopia in mind, and you're just like, oh yeah, we're definitely heading to a utopia. We're definitely going to get there. And it's like, no, you're wrong. You're probably wrong. Let me read chat. Sketch says, if you think the commission market is bad now, just wait until AI art really floods the scene. Dude, that's a whole other another depressing conversation. let's see here. Sketch says, if human art is forced to remain cheap just to compete with AI, plus the fact that less people are buying it, and then yes, the market is totally gutted. Look, you're having a conversation. I'm a little lost, but I kind of understand it. Look, guys, am I not? Hopefully I'm making some sense, because if you think about, man, it's hard to talk about, guys, without like losing my brain, because it's so everything's so hypothetical. Everything's so hypothetical. I have some other issues that I wanted to bring up. More creativity. 305, is that where he says more creative stuff? We already talked about that. This is weird too. Fake news. Let's go to 309.
But I think
Let's go to 309 because this is interesting. This gets into it. I'm just going to go on a brief tangent about fake news. Okay. Hold on.
The Adobe model has proven those claims categorically. The Adobe model
Hold on.
has proven those claims compellingly,
I actually know
you
what
lost
that
me
is.
with one of the results
Wait, we're
of
trying to find it.
AI using AI image generators to
Here it is.
commit fraud and fake images and stuff like that is actually people being more skeptical of what they
This is crazy. Let's here.
future where we can't trust our eyes, our ears, our senses, where we generate everything in our heads, where we don't need anyone. There's not as much transaction. Sure, there are benefits, of course. You know, I can give you those. The overall result is a society, a culture that has receded into itself, or rather up its own arse. And
just to let you know, one of the results of
Okay, so this conversation is about misinformation, fake news, fake pictures, people basically distrusting everything, blah, 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 right? It's like, what the fuck? Now, this is Shad's response.
AI using AI image generators to commit fraud and fake images and stuff like that is actually people being more skeptical of what they see online and actually questioning the authenticity of stuff, which I think is a good thing. I think people need to question the information that are presented to them vastly more than they do.
Okay, this is crazy to me. Fucking insane. The question that was proposed was
Of the results.
Let me go back to it because I want
technology.
Fucking, I hate this stupid
future where
the Adobe model has proven those claims categorically false. It can actually do really creative artistic styles and multiple different styles and create incredible quality stuff. And it's entirely built off of public domain and stuff that they have a license for. And so
another thing, just very quickly, again, like
okay,
we didn't really get to talk about this. This was number 3, and it's fine, you know, because I think you would probably agree with it anyway, so it wouldn't be much content of discussion. Well, it's the overwhelming spread of misinformation also that I'm concerned about, where people can invent perfectly realistic footage of whatever they want, and our standards of evidence will just be thrown away. This future where we can't trust our eyes, our ears, our senses.
Yes or no? Is that not a valid thing to be concerned about? Everybody should say yes. Okay. Now, it's weird to me that Shad's immediate response was
of the results of AI using AI image generators to commit fraud and fake images and stuff like that is actually people being more skeptical of what they see online and actually questioning the authenticity of stuff, which I think is a good thing. I think
his immediate response to somebody just casually saying that I think it's scary that we're going into a direction where gonna have misinformation all over the place. Shad's first response is that's a good thing. And he says it's a good thing because people are being more skeptical. This is what it is. Shad is refusing to engage in any sort of realistic, pessimistic, like maybe we should be worried about this. I'll tell you why. It's because he doesn't want to cede any ground at all when it comes to questioning whether or not we should be encouraging AI image generation. He doesn't even want to. That to me is very bad faith. Look, I can have a disagreement and cede ground on something and still have an opinion about something, but Shad is not doing that at all. How can you say it's a good thing that misinformation and impossible to tell, between reality and fiction, oh, that's a good thing because people will be more skeptical. It's like, yeah, of course they're going to be more skeptical. That doesn't make it a good thing. That's fucking crazy. What are you saying, Chad? You know what I mean? Here's the two solutions. Just pick a scenario, guys. Which one's better? Number one, we have AI art, image generation, and absolutely everything you see, you can't trust any of it. None of it. Zero. However, everybody's more skeptical and nobody believes anything. Okay, that's one world. Now here's an alternate reality world. AI art is like a fringe hobby that society has determined that we should probably not pursue this technology very intensely. And misinformation is not nearly as pervasive, and people are still skeptical, but much less skeptical because they don't have to be. I would rather live in the second world, guys. So it's not even close. It's not even close. But Sketch fucks says, I get where Shad is coming from though. People should go back to not trusting the internet. Yeah, but like you can do that without AI. I don't understand why. That's not an argument for like pro AI argument. That's not. Yeah, you shouldn't trust things. You should no. You should do your research. If you find a trustworthy source, you should be more trustworthy of that source than other sources. You know, you should trust. If you think a reporter does really good ground reporting in journalism, and they have a history of it, you should probably put more trust into that person than some propaganda guy that has a green screen behind him or something, right? That's not everybody should be distrusted equally. It's an accelerationist argument, yeah, I guess. Wait until misinfo be used against people. Dude, that shit's scary. That's not even what we're talking about. I just wanted to bring that up because it's kind of insane. But like now the AI art stuff is exclusive. Shad made the point that AI art, because it's not sentient and it's not inherently, it's literal just, this is another thing, guys. There's so much to fucking talk about. I will have to have a panel and debate panel or something because this is never ending content. But here's another thing. When AI art is sort of like an entertainment thing for a lot of people, right? It's sort of entertainment, and it's not the same as it's not the same level of problem or like a end of the world scenario as, let's say, a Chat GPT, for example. Okay. Stable diffusion, you could argue, is bad, but if we're just talking about AI art, that to me, that's like less of a problem. There's really nothing. The only issues I have with it are replacing artists with robots, and then like everybody sort of somewhat starts to devalue any sort of like the whole creative process. It just kind of is society, because most people are normie retards. They just kind of like go with it. And it just sort of devalues the whole human project of being creative as storytellers. That's the extent of the problem. The extent of the Chat GPT problem is like World War 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. The extent of the AI voice models, like mimicking people, what they're saying is like World War 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Like, that is such a big, you can't, that's a totally different, that's not really what we're talking about. Okay. You know, it's like, Putin said he's going to bomb China, and then China is going to retaliate by bombing Italy. And it's like, and then suddenly, this is the context here is that like someone generated a Chat GPT sequence of like fake emails or something, right? That could cause an escalation of war. Like it's scary. Everybody should be scared of it. How are you not scared of that? Is anybody not scared of that? Anybody here? Hey, what's up, Zax? That's not really what we're talking about here. And again, if you want to talk about like right now, yeah, it's still easy to tell the difference between ChatGPT. It's because ChatGPT is shitty, terrible. I've done a bunch of them on my channel. You can go back. I did ChatGPT short horror stories, creepypasta stories. I stopped at 13 for 2 reasons. Number one, I was getting pushback, and I was also doing this anti-AI art stuff, and it was causing drama. Number 2, people were really not watching too much of it. I don't think the YouTube algorithm like gives a fuck about AI and like ChatGPT or whatever. The people who do watch it actually like it. I for the most part, I get, you know, positive messages and stuff. But number 3, it was getting way too intense, and I'm working with Little Platoon right now, and he makes fucking really fucking long videos, and I have no time anymore. So I stopped at 13. Friday the 13th was my last one. I thought that was a good ending point. I'm gonna do one more at the end of the month. I have a really funny Elmo one. It's just ChatGPT creepypasta Twilight Zone stuff, and I don't give a shit. Another thing is, I don't care if people use AI to make fun things. That's not at all what I'm saying. I don't even think Sam was saying that. There are some people that are like total Luddites about AI, and they think any use, if you create a Pokemon with you know, Donald Trump holding a Pokemon and put it on Twitter, somehow that is contributing to the downfall of human civilization. It's like, you know, some people take it too far. That's not really what we're trying to do. There's other things that we're trying to do. We're just trying to prevent everybody from flocking to this technology like a bunch of blind geese. They're just like, I'm just trying to make people think about these things more. That's it. You know what's coming and it's fine, Snafu. You're just very optimistic about the future, buddy. About humanity. I don't know why, but that's fine. Yeah, algorithm kind of bad for AI, what I have seen. Yeah. Now here's what I'm gonna do. I want to talk about video games and movies with AI because I think it's a fascinating concept. And I don't think it's necessarily shitty. And there's nuance to be had. And I want to talk more about this debate. I want to bring up one more thing specifically about what was the other thing? Vito mentioned something about making a card game. I wanted to make fun of him about that with AI. He's not here, but another thing is Shad said he would be happy with people stealing his work with AI, and I disagree with him about that. I think he's gets another example of him just being sort of playing devil's advocate here. But anyway, let me play this video, this like part of the here, let me find it. Oh boy, let me find it. Hold on. Directors are not artists. 328. This is a whole discussion. This is what I want to go into. Directors and movies. Okay? 328. I'll start at 327. Oh boy. Let me just see.
That's exactly where I was going, Shad.
Exactly. Why
so
is
they're
that?
making 3 movies and hiring more artists to actually.
Oh, okay.
So that they are in the.
Okay. All right. I'm going to play this. I'm going to let it play for like a couple minutes. I'm going to go get another coffee. And in the meantime, I want you guys to listen to these different perspectives on Hollywood and the industry and artists losing their jobs. Okay. Very, very important conversation. This is like a big conversation. So, and it's better that you have the full context. So I'm just going to play it for like 2-3 minutes. I'll be back and I'm getting my coffee, but pay attention to what Shad says and then pay attention to what Sam says and Adam. And I'm going to give you my 2 cents about, the future of industries like video games and industries like movies. But I missed the fucking super chat. I'm sorry. Holy shit. I'm rambling. Thank you for Mr. Where's it at? Mr. Drive-By Kami. Thank you for the $5 donation. drive-by comment. Also, here it is. Won't it threaten independent media by drowning it in a reality distortion field, while MSM and big tech benefit? Yikes. Won't it threaten independent media by drowning it in a reality distortion field while MSM and big tech benefit? That's a question that somebody did a super chat for. I will say, I don't really know how to answer that. The one thing is I don't want mainstream media and big tech to have like exclusive rights to AI, because then they're just gonna fuck everybody else up, and like there's no way independent people will ever be able to compete. And I'm not saying regulate anything. That's an interesting thought though. But where's the other one? I would love to join a panel discuss to debate. Oh, hi Lucifer. Thank you for the $5 donation. I would love to join a panel and to debate AI art in the near future. Sending love from Vancouver. Dude, we had, by the way, guys, follow me on Twitter, because I do Twitter spaces sometimes, and I'll invite people up. Like, I don't love having like just anybody on a panel on YouTube, because it could just, I don't know what, it could just go any, I don't know, I like having people I know on. But if you want to join one of my Twitter spaces, I'll definitely have another one. But yeah, Vancouver Island. Well, that's awesome, buddy. I have family up near there. Thank you for the super chat. That's a good question. Look, Zax. I don't know how much you're into AI. I don't know how much any of you guys. But everybody here should fucking try AI. I'm not saying don't do it. 100% do it. Go to Midjourney. Download Midjourney bot. Do the Bing AI thing. Check out Dolly. Check out Stable Diffusion. All of it. It's very worthwhile. Completely, because you're gonna want to. Aren't you guys gonna want to at some point have an opinion that like is based on some sort of experience? Like imagine trying to say like a movie or is good or bad without watching it. Most people won't take you seriously if you just haven't seen it. They're gonna be like, well, if you haven't seen it, you don't know if it's bad, and they're just not gonna pay attention to you. So it's like you could have a valid opinion about a movie that you haven't seen. It's possible, but it's better if you try out the AI stuff. It's better. I'll be right back. We'll listen to this debate. It's like 3 minutes, three or 4 minutes long. I'll be right back.
Best position to benefit from it as well, and they're shooting themselves in the foot by doing this. AI art is the devil, and anyone who uses it, and they're screwing themselves. If they want to ensure their employability and prospects for the future, well, guess what? This is where the future is going. This is the technology.
Well, the future. Well, again, this is where we disagree. The future is going to a place where everyone can make their own private movies, and no one is needed.
It'll still require the most talented people.
It won't require. It will require people.
Those jobs are going away. I agree with you. But,
yes, they are.
But there'll be other jobs in creating the characters that those people were designing.
No. The people will be able to fucking sit at home with a dick in their hand and basically just.
Again, for the next 5 to 10 years, it's going to require heaps of human.
But this is the thing. This is the key.
Exactly.
5 to 10 years.
How many jobs are you really talking about though? Because I understand what you're saying. Basically they do these big movies like Star Wars, and they hire a gang of artists to come in and do character design to give them different options on characters in Star Wars. AI will be able to replace those people relatively easily, and the decision makers will be like, oh, I like that one, I like this one.
Yep.
So but in the
what are those artists now doing?
Hang on. But also from the company's perspective that wants to be able to make, a film in the most efficient and effective way possible and use their money in the most
lowering costs. Exactly where I was going, Shad.
Exactly. Why?
So they're making 3 movies and hiring more artists to actually create the.
No. Well, they won't need artists at all for all 3. They will just sit in a booth and say,
Not if they're making it concurrently. If they're making it at the same time with the same budget, they'll need to hire multiple AI artists to do those things.
Kathleen Kennedy will be sat in her office going, make her hair purple, and it'll fucking do it. The artists will be removed from the equation, I fear.
Well, good, because if they do, they'll make even more. You know why? Their quality will get even worse and make more crap and enable independent creators to actually kick the crap out of them and beat them in the market.
Okay, well,
if they want to shoot themselves in the foot, I'm happy to see them do it. because
Okay,
Disney sucks.
what? Yeah.
I don't know that Kathleen Kennedy is the best decision maker
Yeah,
anyway.
no, seriously, give all the creative decisions to Kathleen Kennedy. Go, Disney.
It's already happened. But okay, what if the executive, not Kathleen Kennedy, but what if you had like Martin Scorsese or someone of the like James Cameron, and they make his hair, make his skin blue, and it was the same fucking thing, but he made a great result.
Why is that a bad thing?
Well,
Yeah.
well, because he's making a great result. That's fine. You can have that. You can have the great movie that he's made at the expense of all the people that would have made it. So what are they doing now?
Look, it's still bottom line. It is still curation in this process. So many of those artists bring back the character designs that are like, nah, I don't like that one.
Yeah.
So
And
I just
And people
But
can't
what are
demand.
those? What are they doing?
Sam,
Like, where are they going? Into the fucking
people can't
whatever
demand
box?
Martin Scorsese or anyone's like, I demand you make a film in a more expensive way.
No,
that's
no,
gonna take
of
more
course
time
not.
and money on
I know
you,
this is
so you
it.
can
This
hire
is-
me. You can't
it's-
force people
no,
to do
of
that.
course not. This is the tragedy of it. No, you can't, and yet it is the case, and I just think that's sad.
Well, no,
the
no, no,
fact-
because there is still opportunity in it. Okay.
Where for the artists that aren't the visionaries, for the ones that do rely on their mechanical craft alone, the ability, because a lot of artists, they don't necessarily have a story, a genius idea in their head. A lot of them rely on their mechanical abilities.
Well, then they've been
to
lucky, and they should
they've
be
been
grateful that
replaced.
they should be grateful that they've been able to have a career doing what is ultimately a luxury type of job compared to many other jobs that exist in the world.
Fuck.
Okay, and be thankful for that they're able to support themselves for that length of
Funds
time.
over, kiddos.
But when the
Back it
world
up.
but when the world changes, you need to adapt. Okay. You can't just demand
I
that the
don't
world
think-
stay the
I'm
same.
back.
And people, like seriously,
Listen.
to demand that people disadvantage themselves by not using such a useful, beneficial tool just so they can keep their jobs, that's not right.
It's useful and beneficial
wait.
to a tiny minority of people.
Okay, hold on. There's like okay. There's like 50 different angles to take here. What Shad just said is to demand that somebody not use AI and save money is a bad thing. And it's like in a vacuum, I wouldn't, if AI is legal, I wouldn't force people to fucking not, you can't do it. Yeah. That's not what we're saying, guys. I don't know if it's a disconnect of like, because communication is so hard these days. It's hard to communicate ideas, but like there's nothing wrong with saying that we should be, that says, I think personally, in my opinion, society should embrace traditional creative input as long as they can, in as many ways as they can, because we value, like I said before, we value the artistic, the artistic human input, human capabilities. We just value those things. We value CGI artists. I value the people that made Gollum look so amazing. The people that make the Jurassic Park movie looking so timeless. Like you can watch it today, it looks so real. It's like those people are valuable. All we're saying is just because, like Shad's just saying like, well, AI exists. Whoop-de-doo, that's life. Those people are fucked. And it's like, yeah, they probably are fucked, but there's nothing wrong with saying maybe that's a bad thing. Maybe that's not, or not even a bad thing, but maybe that's just not great. Where are we at, chat? Look, think about this. He said something about Martin Scorsese. And then earlier they said something about where are the artists going? Adam said something about replacing them with character designer, with character. Here's the thing, guys. How is this hard to understand? If you take a movie studio that does all these things, concept art, character designs, vehicle designs, weapon designs, armor designs, concept artists, weapon prop people, weapon expert people, if you suddenly replace all of them with people that do AI stuff. Are you telling me, where is the evidence? Where is the evidence that it's going to be a 1-to-1 ratio? Where's the evidence? Adam is sort of acting like, oh, you're just going to replace them with other talented people that use AI art instead. It's like, you know, and Shad is saying this too. Like, well, learn AI, learn how to use AI, and then you won't be replaced. It's like, that's not true, guys. There are already examples of companies doing a thing with AI with one person that would normally take them like 10 people to do it with. Okay. If you're going to defend AI art, at least be honest that just say that you don't care about those people being replaced. Just say it. At least be fucking honest about that. Now, who are we replacing? Well, we're replacing valuable members of society. And I said this earlier, maybe I'm callous and wrong, but I think artists and creative people are more valuable than anybody else on the planet Earth. This is just my opinion. I think they have more value. Now, everybody has this equal value under the eyes of God, and you know, everybody's a fucking person. But when it comes to replacing jobs or replacing all aspects of society with AI, and relegating people to like background, you know, contributors to human civilization, I think artists are more precious and more sort of we should protect them more so than people at a fucking cash register or people at a fucking a farm or something. I'm that's just my opinion. Okay, that's just my opinion. I think Shakespeare, I think Homer, I think, you know, Kurosawa, I think George Lucas, I think fucking, like Mary Shelley, Edgar Allan Poe. I think these people are so fucking valuable to society that when you replace them with like, with just a guy in a chair with an idea that is easily implemented into a thing, we're not just replacing robots, we're replacing people that are dramatically contributing to society in dramatic and generationally transcendent ways. A cashier at a restaurant is not going to transcend generations with their contributions to society the same way that Edgar Allan Poe did. This is just an objective reality. If you are, yeah, this is something that, you know, I would love for somebody to say, oh, well, that's a good thing. We need to embrace the destruction of human artistic contribution. We just need to embrace it. I'm not saying regulate it. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, why are you so excited about replacing? Like, ooh, I get to fucking... There are people out there right now that say fuck artists, fuck actors, fuck directors, fuck... Now, this is a very, very sort of a normie take on Hollywood. Like, oh, Hollywood's terrible, burn it to the ground. But like, what if a guy's talented and he's not working in the Hollywood industry, he's an independent artist? Like, you can't be talking about all of them, right? You don't think they're all captured by woke ideology and they're all trash and they all have nothing of value, right? I don't believe you. I don't even believe you think that. They are not being replaced. Well, tell me where someone like Flaccid, tell me where somebody like Roger Deakins is gonna go. What's he gonna do? Guy who did. Hold on a second. It's hard to talk about without pulling up examples, I guess. You know, it's hard to talk. So let's do let's do this. Where's it at? Fuck. Here we go. Roger Deakins. Roger Deakins is a photographer, cinematographer. He's responsible for the look and style of all these movies, right? 1917, Empire of Light, Blade Runner, Sicario, Prisoners. Where's my face? Jesse James. Fargo, No Country for Old Men, right? This person has developed over the course of his life a skill that everybody appreciates. And we love Roger Deakins. We love him. We cherish this person as a society. He's not a replaceable. If we're talking about human beings like Roger Deakins as they're just as replaceable as a cashier, I think you're crazy. Absolutely crazy. What's he going to do? He's gone. You get a guy that knows how to copy this let's say copy the style of a Western style Jesse James. With a few clicks of a button, you get the color palette, you get the photography. Now this is harder with films. Animation's much easier to talk about. But it's like they're being replaced by essentially like coding engineers that like eventually it's going to be real easy to just do with this stuff, what these people do in a difficult way. But I don't know. Like, what do you think? What will happen to all the horse breeders once we allow cars on the road? Well, the horse breeders transition to hobbyists, and they do. I'm not saying that's bad. I already said I don't care what happens to some people. It's not all or nothing. I don't care what happens to horse breeders because cars are a benefit. If you have a scale and you put cars and horses on the scale, as far as like human civilization, I think cars put the scale all the way up to like 99% positive benefits. The 1% negative benefit would be, horse breeders are going to go down. They're going to be relegated to hobbyists. They're going to be relegated to, collectors, breeders, horse racing. And that's pretty much it. That's like the negative. And then like, I don't know. There's no other negatives really. Now take the same scale and put AI art and let's say like a cinematographer right on the scale, and then an AI cinematographer. I think the replacement scale is like, it's like, I don't think it's anywhere near as like 99%. I think the AI is not really, what's the dramatic, how do you compare that to having cars? I'm not talking about AI technology. I'm just talking about like the value of art. I don't know. Flash of the problem is, yeah, it's just a bad analogy. It's like just because one example that you can give of a Luddite situation is dumb, like people complaining about cars because they want to ride a horse everywhere like the Amish. Just because that example is stupid doesn't mean every Luddite example ever in the history of the world is stupid. Okay. Have you ever heard of the black box theory? Like, or the black ball theory, which is like, we have this technology, and every time we invent a new technology, we're reaching into a box and just blindly pulling out a ball, right? Most of these balls are white color, which means progress, right? Progress is white. So we're haphazardly doing this, right? Throughout society. We're pulling these balls out of a box. There's a theory called the black ball theory, which is one ball in the box is going to be the color black, and it's not going to be white. And when you pull that ball out of the box, suddenly, that technology is not, or number one, it's going to threaten and potentially annihilate the human race. That's the black ball theory in a nutshell. It's like, when we invented nuclear technology, we weren't quite sure if it was going to light the atmosphere on fire. If it did light the atmosphere on fire, hypothetically, in hindsight, you go back in time, we probably should not have invented nuclear technology. If it literally killed everybody, oopsie daisy, we shouldn't have done that. Now, are you saying there's no such thing as a possibility of a black ball ever being pulled out of that box? Like, that's what people are saying with AI. Like, AI is the most realistic example of a black ball, period. Like, you could say nuclear, blah, blah, blah. what else are you going to be afraid of? What's more frightening than AI? I don't know. I just think people should be more skeptical and not be like gung ho about AI. Like, you can even be like 95% gung ho about AI, but like you should still have some reservations. But where was it? Oh, the movie thing. Flaccid says, I agree there will be negative effects of this, but do not pretend that art and part of our souls will be ripped away. I've already explained how it's going to get ripped away. To me, it's obvious, but I mean, then, like I said, the entire conversation around art is going to just completely change. Like right now, we're talking about Killers of the Flower Moon, right? Comes out today. Martin Scorsese, DiCaprio. You know, he's a living legend. We have these. There's this conversation about this movie. It's like, you know, he rewrote the script. He had these changes to the story. He's adapting it from a book. You know, Scorsese has a legacy that's like brilliant, and like, you know, we can compare it to his other films. You know, DiCaprio is a good actor. He has this presence about him. Like, we're talking about people, guys. We're talking about people. That's part of the conversation. That's part of the soul and the humanity, or the soul of the hobby itself. When I talk about video games, you know, and I say that my favorite video games are, you know, Final Fantasy VII, for example. It's like half the reason I like that game is because of Nobuo Uematsu's contribution. You know, Nomura's contribution to some of this. Like, that kind of conversation is gone with AI. Unless you're saying that, like, we're going to have AI people that are we going to have like an AI Quentin Tarantino that's like ahead, like 10 steps ahead of everybody else in AI, that's like doing, I just don't, I mean, maybe in the near future, you know, but eventually it's going to get to the point where it's just pumping out a story. I don't know. And it's just crazy to downplay the value of somebody who's spent their entire life perfecting a craft and then suddenly erase that entire human element, completely erase it, and say that there's no difference between that and then AI doing the same thing with the same output, right? It's not about the fucking quality of the final product. That's part of it, right? That's part of it. If I go to an art gallery, if I go to an anime convention and I buy an art print from Jimbo Box, right, who spent a month or 2 months on a specific art print, or a rendering of like Cammy from Street Fighter, and I buy it and I put it on my wall, and it's like I have this personal connection with a guy that put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into this thing, and it's like, oh yeah, Jimbo Box is one of my favorite artists. Like, I have 2 of his art prints on my wall. Blah. If you replace that with AI art, it's like the only thing left to do in the hobby is like stare at the picture on the wall and say, yeah, I like that. I like that artwork. That's a beautiful picture, and that's it. It's like you're putting no energy into or value into the thing. It's just like, oh, it looks nice. It looks nice on my wall. You can't. How am I wrong about that? Sketch says horses used to be a default method of transportation. Look, there's another thing here. Where's the thing? This is something crazy to me. I want to talk about video games in a second, but look. Okay, you can piss on me if you want. We'll set up a debate. How about you set up a debate? It's hard for me to. I don't know. How about this? Look at this. Where the fuck is it?
true.
If you
That's
lower
true.
the bar of entry even more, so that you can have the AI doing the writing or the art, isn't that going to increase the amount of sludge you have to
Wait.
get? Right, but if
Yeah,
you
that's true.
if you
That's
lower
true.
the bar
sorry.
and have the AI doing the writing or the art, isn't that going to increase the amount of sludge you have to get through to get to the good stuff?
No, because
Do you think there's
reviews
gonna
and
be-
every-
do you
people
think-
will report what, like, this is great, you should try it out and read and everything, and the best will rise to the surface.
Well, let's
I think that's-
establish.
All right, that's just a little thing I wanted to talk about. Sitch tried to make a a little bit of a point argument about oversaturation. Wait, hold on. Flaccid said, Lofty, people can just copy art. People can just copy art. I don't know what that means. I mean, if you just take someone's art and copy it and paste it and then put it on your wall, like, yeah, you're still copying that person's art. Like, they still made it. I don't know what that means. Like, I don't even know. What was it saying? Oh, Sitch was saying that is yes or no, do you guys think that oversaturation is going to be a problem with AI art? Okay. And if you want to talk about a specific industry, go for it. If you want to talk about animation, or if you want to talk about AI video games or AI, let's use the example of let's see here. I don't know how to any art. Just think about it. Oversaturation. Think about now that people like fucking Vito are going to be using AI art to pump out a card game with art on it, or a comic book. And not just people like Vito. He already has a comic. People, just anybody, normies, your mom, your neighbor, your grandma, little kids, think about the saturation, guys. Okay. Now that's not necessarily a problem, because Shad's argument is that, even with oversaturation, the best artists will make it to the top. We'll make it to the top. And is that what he said?
Because
Do you think there's
reviews
gonna be-
and
do you
people
think-
will report what, like, this is great, you should try it out and read and everything, and the best will rise to the surface.
Look, I don't even think that's true. I think we already talked about this. Like, it doesn't even happen at the moment. Like, we're still talking about Robin Hood. Who's talking about the House of Usher? Who's talking about Flower Moon? Who when the Northmen came out, who was talking about it? Everybody was talking about Rings of Power. Everybody was talking about whatever the fuck. It's like, good art, the best art ever in any industry, very, very frequently does not get the notice or the reputation or the exposure that it deserves. Sometimes it does. And I would say George Lucas's Star Wars is good art. Even though it's mainstream, it's good. It has the hero's journey. It does this thing really, really, really well. But sometimes, like a film like David Lynch, for example, like Inland Empire or Mulholland Drive or something, or like a David Cronenberg movie, like some of that shit is incredibly valuable and brilliant, but he's not a very popular director. He has this sort of niche, following. I don't know what he means by it will rise to the top. It will rise to the top. Like, I don't know. It's just a weird thing, because, like, artists who want to maintain their integrity and not use AI art, and they want to just do it all themselves, are they going to rise to the top? Maybe they will in certain niche areas of the world where they're like, in communities where people like shun AI and they're like, oh, this is original. This is original. This is human. This is human. And then maybe that's got to be dude, that could be honestly, that could be a very popular, authentic thing. Think about vinyl records. Think about how popular vinyl records are. People don't want the digital thing. They want the vinyl. I don't know if now is there anything wrong with somebody saying, I think vinyl records should be cherished and we should appreciate them and value them, and we should maintain that, like, and physical copies instead of digital, like physical media, blah blah blah. Is there anything wrong with somebody saying, I think we should value these things as long as we can? I don't think there's anything. That's what I'm saying about art, about human art. I'm just saying, like if you're saying that there's no difference between like a vinyl record and digital, or and it's stupid to like try to play defense for like vinyl, or like I don't know, maybe it's a bad example. Guys, I don't know. I'm just kind of like bouncing ideas around. I want to go back to the debate because let's think about this. Blah 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 blah. Hold on, let me find the thing. Artist stealing. Closing statement. Oh, I like his closing statement. I might play that. Oh, that's the thing. 305. Brilliance.
You have an idea. So it's like it's all melding together on this online shitfest where we have no real sense of self anymore. I mean, a lot of countries are so obsessed in how much they hate themselves now. And you maybe say they're a minority, but they fucking win elections. It's like there's a huge problem with the erosion of culture. So my argument, again, it's not to destroy AI or drag it down. It's just that I'm concerned that where we're at now, we're not going to make the best of it.
I honestly believe AI art.
Yes,
AI
our worst
art,
impulses.
Yeah, I honestly believe AI art can be embraced and not contribute to those negative cultural things that you see.
I hope that is true. I don't think it is, though. I think it will contribute to those worst impulses that have been playing out for the past.
Yeah.
No,
I played this already.
Where it's the primary cause. Like, even if it did, it's not the primary thing that's causing it.
I think
there are other things that you could.
Okay, so maybe that was the wrong clip. I played that before, but that's a good point about how where people's worst impulses are going to use AI art, as a way to escape from reality, escape from communities, isolate themselves. What I really wanted to find a clip of Shad was him saying that that he said something like, this is going to open up the door for there to be so many more brilliant ideas being made. And my point is this. I think I already made this point, but like when something is, if you have a million things that are brilliant, then suddenly they're not brilliant anymore. They're just the concept of the whole idea of brilliance is diluted into into this like, just everything is the same. Everything's the same. It's like, oh, did you guys see that one guy's interpretation of Lord of the Rings? It was really good. And the other guy's like, no, but I saw this other one's interpretation of Lord of the Rings. That was really good. And another guy's like, well, no. Have you seen this guy's interpretation of Lord of the Rings? And it's like, there's like, let's say there's like a 50,000 of this. Everybody's doing their own AI Lord of the Rings. And suddenly we have no cultural, we cannot come together. We cannot rally behind somebody like Peter Jackson. We cannot hold this guy up as like the epitome of like somebody to like an icon, an inspiration, sort of a hero to a lot of people, a lot of kids that want to grow up to be like, Peter Jackson, like film directors, all that shit, guys. How are you? I'm telling you, nobody's thinking about this stuff. Nobody's thinking about it. Nobody's thinking. They're not that deep. They're not thinking that deep about it. It's just like surface level AI art's gonna make everything better. I'm telling you. Imagine like, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm too invested in art for the, like the artist, like the death of the artist is scary, man. It's just scary. What are you saying, chat? Where are we? Is anybody still watching? But it's easier to get, oh man. So do you guys have any questions that you want me to address while I, oh no, I wanted to talk about Vito. Vito does this thing. Let me find it. Vito's like, yo, I'm gonna make an AI art card game or dice game or something, right? He's like, oh, this is fun. And I'm like, that's cool. You know, I don't care if he does it. That sounds like good for him. But then like I asked this question. I was like, don't you think that AI art would restrict your sales? It's like I feel like you'd make more money hiring like a regular artist. Now here's my point. What do you guys think of, yes or no, would you back a fundraiser of a project if it had AI art? I'm just wondering. I'm really wondering, because when I talk to people in certain communities like Comicsgate community or VTuber community or whatever, I'm telling you, there's a lot of people that don't like AI art. They don't like what it's doing. They don't like that it's replacing artists. Whether you agree with them or not, this is just true. Now, if you're going to be like, oh, buy my AI art dice game, I just think you're just alienating so many people. Like, I don't know why anyone would do this. I don't know why anyone, because I personally would never buy anything that somebody made with AI art. It's not the fact that, no, maybe if it's, this might be on the fringe. Like if it's just the card, if it's just the pictures, but everything else is real, maybe. But if it's a comic book and it's entirely AI art, guys, half the reason I buy comics is to support the artist, is to support good unique styles and people's efforts. Like Joe Ball, you know, his style is very unique and interesting and fascinating, and like he put a lot of work into it. He's getting a lot of money from people that respect his talent. If he just said, oh no, ha, this is all AI generated, guess how many people would be so fucking upset? They'd be like, well, fuck you. I'm not buying a thing that was generated by AI art. I'm just telling you. That's like, it's probably, if maybe eventually like shit like that will normalize itself, but right now is not a good idea. Oh, you could try it. Maybe I'm wrong. You could try it. I could be wrong. What did Lucifer say? Would you have become an editor if current programs didn't exist? Oh wait, let me. Hold on a minute. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I'm gonna have to get in on this panel to dude. You know what we might do? We might host a Twitter space, because I did that last time and it was really fun. Because anyway, we'll see. Everybody follow me on Twitter. Sketch, whatever. But look, somebody said would I become a video editor and YouTuber if current programs didn't exist? No, I wouldn't, because it would be impossible to do it. Are you trying to say that technology allowed? No, dude. Oh man. Look, Sam made this point in a thing somewhere. Please go watch this. But like, look, he made this point about digital art, 3D animation. Or Shad was trying to make this point where, hey, look what happened when photography or 3D animation was introduced. People were like, no, it's going to take away jobs. It's going to erase problems. It's going to make things easier. Sam made a really good point. with the advent of video editing softwares, with the advent of computer animation, of computer simulations, physics engines, Unreal Engine, things like that. Guess what happened? Two things happened. Number one, it made things easier for people to do. Prior to that, if you would have to do stop motion if you wanted to do CGI. Okay. However, it introduced a fuck ton of new creative processes and problems to solve that there's like a plethora of if you're using like Blender or Unreal Engine, you can get super duper fucking autistic about how creative you can be with this stuff, and there's so many problems to solve and share with other people information. The difference is with AI, it does not inherently, it's not guaranteed that there will always be problems to solve with AI. In fact, it's most likely that AI is going to get to the point where it's second nature. You think of an idea and it pops into the fucking thing. You think of an idea in your brain, and even without inserting a chip into your brain, technology is just going to be able to read your thoughts eventually. You're just going to be able to pop the idea out. Like it's a bad comparison. It's not one-to-one. It's not digital art, video editing software. These things still have, unless you're talking about AI video editing software, which makes everything way easier. And the entire purpose of AI is to make things essentially obsolete. Like nothing. Like the purpose of Photoshop is not to erase the effort that goes into making an image. The only purpose of Photoshop is to give you a million tools to use that are digital. That's not the purpose of AI. AI is not like, let's see how many tools we can create for people to tinker with. No. AI's purpose is to erase any obstacle in favor of efficiency, optimization, and instant gratification. That's the whole fucking purpose of AI. Yes, Lofty, why didn't you think this will happen when AI comes in? Hold on. Because the Fruity Loops, I've made hours worth of original music. I don't know what that means. Is Fruity Loops an AI thing? Lofty, why don't you think this will happen when AI comes in? I already explained that. It's just not. It's not going to happen. Right now, it's the case for the next 2-3 years until it's easy to use. AI is already easier to use than it was like a year ago. Much easier. Look, anyway, Flaccid, if you're telling me that like AI is going to come along and there's going to be like, I'm going to be able to devote an entire career and get better and better and better and better and really, really fucking an expert, a genius expert with an AI software and make something that nobody else can ever make. If you're telling me that's always going to be the case, and that there's always going to be a Peter Jackson, there's always going to be a Hayao Miyazaki, there's always going to be a fucking Hideo Kojima. If you're telling me that's the future, then okay, I'll agree with you. I think you're wrong. I think you're making predictions that you can't possibly make, and you're just deciding on a utopia that exists in your head that it's like, I don't care if you think that's possible. Like, there's nothing to debate. Yeah, it's possible. But it's like, it's not guaranteed at all. You can't know that. You cannot know that. There's no possible way. You can jump 100 years into the future and say, see, I told you, there's still going to be blah, 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 blah. This whole, human artistic thing is still going to be, going around. No, because it's very possible that you're wrong. And it's very possible that in 100 years, that's a long time. In 100 years, I could sit down in my room and just what Shad said. Think of, just say, hey, fucking Hal 10,000. I want you to generate a 7-season long Wheel of Time show that is true to the source material. I want you to use attractive women. I want you to have the magic system completely exactly how it is in the thing. I want book 3 to be split up into 2 parts because it would be more satisfying for me. Blah 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 blah. You know, if you just say that and it comes true, what the fuck? How is that? How are you saying that that's like compatible to what anything at all in reality today? Like you got to be delusional. So, Miyazaki bot. Yeah, Miyazaki bots. That's a thing. That doesn't mean Miyazaki exists. I also don't think it's impressive when you do a Michael Jackson concert with hologram AI Michael Jackson. It's no longer. Do you know the fucking crazy, psycho people that would show up to a Michael Jackson concert and like faint and like throw their fucking bras onto the stage? Guess what? Even that culture, even that idol culture or worship culture, which is kind of toxic, but it's really kind of not. It's like, it's kind of cool at the same time. Anyway, that whole culture is gone. Who's going to fucking do that? Who's going to do that for an AI? Like, oh, and this AI, I want to suck this AI's dick so fucking hard. Like, if you're, that is the death of our culture. If that's what you, the death of society. So it's over. It's done at that point. People like simping for robots? I don't know, man. I'm not. Fuck, man. I don't even know. I don't know. Which technological advancement has caused AI art to become less? Nothing. People can still do. Well, I mean, technically, poetry has disappeared as like an art form. I don't know why. That's more of a cultural thing. People don't care about poetry anymore. Poetry is like, if you're writing a poem and you're trying to like go around to like college campuses or like, you know, local pubs and like read your poetry, like that's that's not a thing. That's not technology. That's just culture. I don't know what you mean, dude. Which technological advancement has caused it to become less? Maybe none. But that doesn't mean, like I said, it doesn't mean it can't ever happen. There's always a first time for something. 5 years from now, Hunter x Hunter fans will be able to have an AI write and draw a satisfying dark continent arc. Yeah, but is that satisfying? If like, maybe it's satisfying, but it's like, it's not the same level of satisfaction as if a studio with a bunch of talented people did it the same exact way. There's no way it's the same. You're never going to be as impressed. You're going to be like this. You're going to be like, oh, that was a really, really good adaptation. That was so good. But that's it. There's nothing else to talk about. That's it. Then you move on to the next thing. With a studio like Mappa or something, or with a director, or with a writer, or with a producer, somebody like, I don't know. At least you can talk about like how impressive it is that they were able to pull this off and like inspire younger artists to come and do what they did in the past. And like, where's the inspiration? Where's the creative inspiration? What kind of are there? Do you know how many people right now have heroes that are artists? Like, oh, he's my hero. He's my fucking hero. This guy, whoever, pick a name. Hideo Kojima is my hero. I want to grow up and be exactly like him. I want to grow up to be like Guillermo del Toro. I want to grow up to be an artist. I want to make my life more enriched. And that'll never happen with AI, ever. You're going to be like, I want to grow up and push buttons. I can't wait so I can grow up and push buttons to make something. It's so dumb. Clip it. Wait. Hold on. People still love when something real is put on screen. That is true. That is one that's like, we can agree on that. Look, there's always going to be artists. That's not what you were saying earlier. Now you're like sort of backtracking. Like, well, don't be afraid of AI because there's always going to be a market for real stuff. Like, okay. Yeah, that eases my concern a little bit. Because, yeah, I do agree there's always going to be a market for real stuff. It's like, I'm just pushing back against the people saying, even if there wasn't a market for real stuff, it doesn't matter because that shit is irrelevant. Like, for example, if you're wrong, and if I'm wrong, that there will be no market whatsoever for anything real. It's just let's just hypothetically say it doesn't exist. It's kind of fucked up. You're relying on the existence of that market to just spontaneously come into, it's like, I hope you're right. I hope to God there are millions of people all over the world that still want somebody like Christopher Nolan to go and rotate a fucking room and spin people around with wires. Because it's fucking epic. I hope to God that people still appreciate that stuff. Guess what? Cinema is dying. People don't really care that much anymore. So I don't know why you are so optimistic about that, but I mean, I hope people now, Top Gun. There's examples. You're right. There's examples. Top Gun, Mission Impossible, real stunts. People like that. It's very possible, and I hope it's the case, that there's a resurgence of practical effects. You're probably right, actually. You're probably right. And I just don't know how long that's going to trend. You know what I mean? It could be a trendy thing, just like vinyl records. It could be, you know what I mean? I don't want it to be a trend. I want all of human history for the rest of time to appreciate that kind of talent. But I mean, anyway, what else is there to talk about with AI? Any other, like, let me think. I'm looking at my notes. Do you guys think filmmakers are artists? Do you think George Lucas is an artist? Do you think, let me think of somebody. Steven Spielberg, is he an artist? That's another thing that I kind of go back and forth. Because I have to address this. Avatar 2, CG Smurfs. Look, dude. That is what you're describing. I don't know if you're trying to make this point, but it's the reason why Avatar 2 was so popular is because of the human ingenuity and insane amount of effort that went into making that movie over the course of a decade or 2 decades. Decade and a half. It's not about the CGI. Because look at all these other CGI movies. They're all shitting the bed. It's not about the CGI. It's about the technology and the human willpower to pull off something like Avatar 2 that's on another, it's like 10 years ahead of its time. Like there's no other movie that's even remotely close to Avatar in terms of its technology. And that's because humans did really, really clever and creative things, right? They did creative things. And it's like, realistic CGI is not a problem. That's not a problem. That's not really. If it was AI generated, it would be less impressive. It would be like, that's a good movie. But people like it because of knowing that it's all fake, but it looks real. Knowing that they used people in like tanks, underwater tanks to film it, and it doesn't even look like that. It looks totally real. That's why there's this knowledge that you have of Cameron and his effort and his talent. There's knowledge that you have that goes into your appreciation of the movie, and that knowledge will disappear with AI. It's like, well, this is just fucking a computer did all this stuff. So what's the big deal? You know what I mean? What was I saying? Fuck. Oh yeah, cinematographer. Yes, Noda. Look, I think cinematographers in art form. I think cinematography is an art form. I think prosthetics. I think stop motion is an art form. I would say it's weird. It's kind of hard to describe. I think a filmmaker, like a director, like Steven Spielberg, who's collaborating and relying on a million people to make his thing, make his project, like Indiana Jones. It's almost like he's a director. He's a director. I would call him a visionary because somebody who has like this supremely epic vision, and then they like somehow, against all odds, they pull it off. They pull this vision off that nobody else could have done. But they didn't even get their hands dirty. Other people were acting. Other people were doing the photography. Yeah. However, at the same time, it would not have happened without somebody like Steven Spielberg directing all of those things. I don't know if I call it an artist. He's definitely a visionary. Maybe he is an artist. But if you have a guy with a computer that with 25 years from now, when AI art is very simple to make, it's not like complicated anymore. It's like a cell phone app. You just push buttons, right? If you at that point, there is no such thing as a visionary. It's just like, I have this idea, and it's like, I guess there's visionaries. There's still going to be visionaries, but it's really not going to be as nearly as impressive at all. It's just like, no one's going to be as impressed. Like, there's not going to be, this is why, the idea, like a rock star, like a movie star, like their star power, that's done. That's a dead concept. That is a dead persona, archetype, a rock star. If you go into AI, because you're no longer celebrating the person for their achievements. You're celebrating the fucking quality of the final product. And it's like, yeah, it's very superficial. Even though there's nothing wrong with it. I could put an AI art print on my wall and think it looks cool. Nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying we're not replacing. We're just getting rid of that other cultural aspect that I talked about. It's gone. It's not being replaced. It's just gone. The only thing we have now is like, oh, that's a great idea. That looks nice. That's pretty. That's very cool. I like the black and white photography on that artificially generated picture. It looks nice. It's very boring. It's like the death of the hobby. You know? Because hardcore hobbyists are very nerdy. Imagine like how nerdy you guys are about your favorite thing. Like, you know who made it. Think about your favorite video game, right? Like Ocarina of Time. Like you know who made the music. Like a lot of people, if you're nerd, you kind of know the making of that game and how it was like developed. And it's part of the reason why you like that game. It's like you love the process of it. Or or think about a movie, right? Like Apocalypse Now, which was almost impossible to make, right? Or think about The Shining, right? That movie is very cool. If you go watch the behind the scenes, nerds can't help themselves. Nerds love to talk about that kind of shit. Like, look at Jack Nicholson acting out of control when the cameras are not even rolling. He's literally just a lunatic. Look at the way Stanley Kubrick filmed this one shot underneath his legs, like looking up at his face. Like a very clever, like he just came up with it on the spot. That's like really clever. Like nerds will get really, really deep into this shit. And that's part of the fun of the hobby. When you have AI doing everything for you and like there's no magic behind it. I'm dead. I will die on this hill. That is the death of nerd culture. Done. Gone. Done. Dead. I don't want it. I don't want it to exist. Flaccid said, am I an artist if I commission an artist to draw me something? No, you're not. Neither am I. Nope. Nobody's an artist. The only reason we have the word artist is to describe the process of going from like 0 to 100 in an artistic realm, in a creative realm. The process of going from point A to point B, which is the final product. Point A is nothing at all. The person who like overcomes obstacles and does and has control over that entire process is an artist. That's the definition of the word. Like, if I tell somebody to do something and they do it, they're an artist. I'm not. You know what I mean? AI is an artist. The AI user is just a commissioner. It's so obvious. Bro, how are you saying that a commissioner is wait, Flaccid. Yes or no, is somebody who commissions a work of art, are they an artist? Chat, do you agree with Flaccid? I don't. I think it's crazy. You're diluting the term, dude. The term artist is used for out of respect for somebody who's been through trials and tribulations and like has learned something about the craft. If you just say make this with that hair and those color eyes with a sword, and then they do it, and then 99% of the thing is them, and you have 1% control over it, you're not an artist. You're just a guy who told them to do stuff. That's stupid. Rhetorics is an art form? I don't know, whatever. Read a book. Jack Nicholson was drunk. Of course, he's erratic. Yeah. Taylor Swift concert. Spielberg did Indy 5? I thought... No. That was not Spielberg. That was James Mangold. Dude, you only want trials and tribulations because you let people do that to you? Snafu, I can't follow your logic. I don't know. I don't know what you're... I actually I've been confused by things you've been saying, like, quite a bit. If you're... I don't know. Are you from another country? It's a genuine question. Because, I don't know, it might be like a phrasing thing. Do you only want trials and tribulations because you let people do that to you? I don't know what that even means. Flaccid, I already said this. I think directors are directors and visionaries. I would, if you want to call a director an artist, I would say that I wouldn't have a problem with that, but only because they put way more effort into the thing than just telling a guy to draw you something. It's like, if somebody draws a smiley face on the Mona Lisa versus drawing the Mona Lisa, I would say one of them is an artist and the other one is just a person that like sort of added something to the art. They're not the same thing. It's not like they're both artists. So if a director spent 2 years of his life fidgeting and tinkering and telling people to do things like over and over and over again, 20 to 23 hours a day, and it comes out with the exact product that he had in his vision that he had in his head, okay? I would say at that point, the threshold would probably be met. And you could call them an artist. I still wouldn't. I would call him a director or a visionary. A visionary to me makes more sense. But yeah, you can call him an artist. But dude, you're just diluting the words. Like a banana on a wall is art. Okay, I guess. It's the same thing. Like the word art is already diluted. Like whatever anybody wants it to be is art. If you want to do the same thing with the word artist, go for it. I just don't agree. That's my opinion. I think I have my own definition of the word artist. Like somebody who... It depends if you use AI in an incredibly elaborate and ambitious project that takes you like 17 years to make. Okay, I would not have a problem with calling somebody an artist in that situation. Not at all. If someone reads, wait, hold on, Lofty, let's do Twitter Space stream tomorrow. No, dude, I'm not sucking the dick. Dude, I'm not sucking the dick of artists. I'm just being realistic. If somebody redraws a painting, are they an artist? Probably Probably because they have the tools. They probably have worked on. If you're saying in an isolated thing, dude, you have to be. These are terrible, terrible examples. If you're saying if somebody redraws a painting, are they an artist? I would say no, but they probably are because they wouldn't be able to redraw it if they weren't already an artist. But the act of redrawing it, like tracing it, is like, if it doesn't take any skill, I don't understand the question. I wish Mahler was here to debate you. Dude, I would destroy Mahler. No, he probably agrees with me. I actually don't know what Mahler thinks about AI art. But I'm flattered to say that you would the only person that can debate me in a debate is Mahler. It's kind of based. Thank you. If someone I'm joking. You displayed artistic skills, but an artist assumes some amount of original thought went into. Look, an artist does the work. That's the bottom line. If you tell an artist what to do, and they do it, they're an artist. Like what? Someone who recreates a painting is an artist because they created art? Yeah, but my point is that person already is an artist because they couldn't recreate the painting if they didn't have the talent. So clearly, yeah, they're an artist. Clearly. Yeah, I would say if they're that's a weird thing. Like, do you mean like paint by numbers? Like, what do you mean exactly? Like, these are weird comparisons, man. When a fire burns through a forest, what leaves it behind is art. Yeah, I know, Snappy's being funny. Sometimes I can't tell if you're serious. Storytelling is one of the oldest art forms. Of course it is. Of course it. I never said, yeah. That's called an art study, not them creating art, but trying to understand how the original artist came up with the final product. Yeah, it's a very weird thing, man. Like tracing is not art; it's just tracing. Is an editor an artist? I think a film is considered a work of art. So I think somebody who cuts that film together in a sequence of pictures is creating art. So I think maybe an editor is an artist. That's a yeah, but like an editor does a lot of work. An editor has to know a craft. Yeah, I would say that person's an artist. You can have bad artists. You can have good artists. You can be a bad artist. That's not just because you make bad art doesn't mean you're not an artist. Now, wait, can I ask you guys this? Stop asking me fucking questions. Let me ask you one. Would you say singers are artists, like vocalists? Okay. Now, think about it. Now, would you say that like your fucking aunt who like sings in the shower, okay? Is she an artist? Is somebody who just does something automatically an artist? I would say no. I would say art is a very awkward combination that it's like you know it when you see it, but it's mostly like some sort of intentional effort to create a unique or like a stylistic choice of thing that you do that you do consistently. You're not just doing it once. Like you're not just singing once in the shower and then suddenly you're an artist. It's like some guy goes la-di-da-di-da in the shower one time, and then they walk out of the shower and they're like, guys, I'm an artist. Like, fuck off. No, you're not. Especially if you go around telling people you're an artist and they say why, and you go, oh, one time in the shower I said, and I love you, you love me, we're a happy family. Like, and then they look at you like they look at you like what are you talking about? You're not an artist. You have to use words in the way everybody else uses words. We have to agree on fucking definitions. We can't just start using anything to describe anything. Dude, Snafu, art is anything anyone decides that it's art. If you decide it's art, it's art. If somebody shits on the wall and then like puts a little shits on the fucking wall, poops out of their like literally bends over, shits on a wall and then draws a smiley face. I guess that's art. Or if they like shove a literally kill somebody, push them off of a building and they splatter a certain way on the ground and they go, oh, that's I like the way they splattered. I guess that fucking guy's an artist. I guess he's an artist. Woohoo! Congratulations. That's a really cool thing. You can call yourself an artist. Woohoo! Guys, can we not dilute the fucking definition of the word where it doesn't mean anything anymore? Like, oh my God. I think people are so butthurt about like artists and like they don't like the fact that it sounds pretentious, or it's like if you call yourself an artist, like, oh, that's snooty, that's snobby. So they take it to the opposite extreme, and it's like, can you please have some nuance about it? That's a bad definition of art because then anyone is an artist. I'm not, dude. I'm saying that's not true, but other people disagree. I agree. That is a bad definition of art. Flaccid. Unless you're talking about, I don't know. I'm not diluting anything, dude. You don't know what the word diluting means. I'm the one sort of gatekeeping the definition. It's the opposite of diluting. I don't even, are you from another country, dude? Like, do you understand English words? Google the definition of diluting. I'm the one who's, if anything, I'm concentrating the definition in a specific area. Diluting something is like spreading it out all over the place until it doesn't mean anything. You're describing the opposite of what I'm doing. Art, the damn near everything can be considered. That's another point that they make. It's like, it's dumb to the whole AI art thing. Is it art? It's a stupid argument. It's a dumb argument because yeah, it's art. It's art because some people think it's art. You know, and to be fair, a lot of people put a lot of effort into AI art. And sometimes, I could draw a picture and like tell the AI to change that person's hair color slightly. And then 99% of that final image is my art. And only like 1% of it is the AI's art. In that example, in that example, that's clearly a work of art. Clearly. It doesn't become not a work of art because AI did like one thing. These are complicated conversations, guys. Snafu, you're just saying stuff. You're not like convincing anything, anybody of anything. Then why should creatives, as you call them, be protected more than others? Because, wait, do you think they should not be protected? I think they should. Because creative people have learned as humans, as like organic biological creatures, to develop skills in a way that tells stories in a way that relates to every other human on the planet Earth. And it's sort of a magical thing. It's like this thing that's like hard to describe. And it's so precious and like rewarding and brilliant and genius and everything. There's so much that goes into it that I think they should be protected. They should be like, we should encourage everybody to be creative. Everybody. I don't know. You want to gatekeep the term artist too. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Everyone can do that, and everyone does. I don't know what that means. People can use that. You guys, you are on like a 30-second delay. So if you say everyone can do that, I don't even know what you're talking about. It's like delayed for me. I need my Sitch triggered emote so bad. Well, fucking join the membership program. I don't have a Sitch emote, but if you, whatever. Wait, let's see if there's anything else. Fucking Flaccid. You dumbass. We're gonna talk about this shit. You know what though? It's a waste of time because I don't know. Maybe it's not a waste of time. I don't know. People selling your own content. Hold on, I'm trying to read my notes. Oh look, Fennah made a really good point. He talked about this. He wrote a book. Sam wrote a book, and I think he said he set his world before the Big Bang takes place. Right? So it's like a previous like universe. Like to me, and he said he did that. I think he said he did that so he can, because he wanted to come up with like an original idea. And it's like, that's actually kind of an original idea. Like sometimes ideas are repetitive and ideas themselves are not really that impressive. This is why I think Shad is wrong, where he's like putting all the emphasis on the idea creation. And he's putting every emphasis on idea is all that matters. Idea. It's just about the idea. Well, fucking, it's not. Like, you could have a generic idea. Like, look at his Supergirl. It's the most generic fucking stupid picture. Like, look at this. Guys, this picture is like, it's just like a photograph with like a girl with a weird chin perspective thing happening. Very, very repetitive sheen glossy thing that I've seen in every other AI picture ever. It's just Supergirl. It's nothing interesting. You know, like, this is not a very good idea. Number one, it's not a good idea. Number two, there's no effort that goes into it. So you're restricting. The idea is generic, and the effort that went into it is non-existent. So what's the point of this picture? If there's no effort to make it, there's not. He spent like 3 hours on this. If there's no effort to make it, and if the idea itself is generic and boring, I mean, except if it means something to him because his wife's face is on Supergirl, cool. But like, I don't care. Like, what's the point of this picture? At least if somebody drew this, I would be literally thinking right now, I am so impressed by the effort that this looks kind of realistic. Like, I'm really impressed by the artist that made this. Like, there is a total, complete, fucking focus on the attention. The attention of your focus goes on to the artist and the person and their background and how they did this and their process and their education and how old they are. And it's like fucking that shit. It just is non-existent with AI art. Now I'm just looking at. With AI art, I'm just looking at a picture of Supergirl with some girl's face. I don't even know who it is. And it's just like, it looks like photorealistic to me, which is like the easiest fucking shit to do with artificial intelligence. Because you just download some LoRa, or you just download some like somebody else's like fucking, you know, bot program that like designed this sort of like gloss technique. And it's just like, it takes you like 15 hours to learn the program. And then it takes you like 4 hours of like, you know, trial and error. Guys, that's not impressive. There's nothing impressive about this. Nothing. What's going on? Lofty, you need to grow up and actually take a look around. Dude, you say that, but you're just wrong. I don't. I mean, just because you say it doesn't mean it doesn't make it true. You're just wrong. You could say whatever you want. You're just like, you could say the Earth is like a pyramid. It doesn't make it true. Ideas are not, it's the execution. Good night, Lofty. No, you didn't strike a nerve, dude. I'm just the only thing you did is like you confused me. I'm trying to understand your like points. I don't know what you're trying to say half the time. You did not strike a nerve. If anything, Flaccid struck a nerve, you fucking faggot. So someone else needs to do, all someone else needs to do is make it by hand, and then it is art. What do you mean by hand? Because digital art is art. Sculpting is art. You can sculpt with tools. You don't have to sculpt by hand. You can sculpt with tools. I would say, digital art. I would say, editing. I would say photography is art. I don't know what you mean by hand. I don't even know what that means. Yeah. Flaccid. There's a barrier. The barrier to me is having the AI do 99.9% of the work for you. That's the barrier. That's the barrier. It has to be by hand. If you mean by hand as in like, if you mean by hand as in you're putting in a fuck ton of effort into the thing, then yeah, I don't care if it's by hand or by mouth, or you could fucking if you're paralyzed, you could tap your fucking nose, which I'm doing right now on my microphone. You could tap your nose on a fucking keyboard and create a really nice picture, and you're still an artist. Like, I don't know what you're saying. But that's because you did all the work, dude. Like, if you tapped your nose on a keyboard and said, make me a cat with fucking, Ron Perlman's face on it, it's like, if you just did that with your nose and hit a button, you're not an artist. Sorry, you're just not. And you can't convince me that you're an artist. It's impossible. So you might as well just give up. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. What else is happening? We did this thing. Shad doesn't know what fucking concept art is. Let me go back to his. Let's see. Shad. Look, his fingers are weird a little bit. He made a point about them being like a certain pose. Whatever. I'm telling you though, I'm trying to find his Supergirl picture. The original one. It wasn't this one. Oh, here's mine. Here's mine. Look, guys. Look what I made. Oh, look what I made. Am I an artist? Am I an artist because I spent 5 minutes on this? And even her hands are actually kind of nice. I fixed them. I fixed her hands, guys. Trust me, they were much worse. How about this one? Am I an artist for creating this? Am I an artist? I typed in a prompt and it spits something like this out, and I saved it, I re-uploaded it, I used some coding, I changed the colors, I blah 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 blah. Right? I blah 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 blah. I literally just blah 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 into a computer. Like for example, I said stuff like blonde, wispy hair, curvy. I said stuff like felt, fabric, like fancy fabric, blah blah blah. I just made up fucking words, guys. Anyway, I'm not an artist. I'm not a fucking artist, guys, because I made this picture. I'm an artist because I make videos. I'm not an artist because I make this picture. I'm an artist because I make videos that are more creative and interesting than whatever this is. You could say this is more interesting than my videos, but that's like final product syndrome. That's like final product derangement syndrome, content derangement syndrome. It's like people who only care about the content and not about what went into it. Content derangement syndrome. I'm literally fucking coining that phrase right now. People who are like, oh, the content's all that matters. It's all that matters. It doesn't matter who made it or anything. just about the content. Well, then why are you so interested in who made it? Why are you lying to yourself? How come I've seen you people talk about fucking Quentin Tarantino and Hideo Kojima and fucking Hayao Miyazaki and Satoshi Kon, and why are you lying to yourself? Why do you give a fuck about these people if you think that they don't matter? You're just lying. I'm telling you, you're kind of coping. I'm an artist because I make videos. I'm not an artist because I made this picture, dude. I just read your comment, Flaccid. I'm sorry. Again, you're behind me. Guys, there's a difference. I'm an artist. Can you not know the difference? How is this hard? I am an artist because I make videos. I'm not an artist because I made this picture. It's sad to think you will never see the world's artists have in their heads because they can't afford to take the time. Dude, that's not sad. I have shit in my head. It's kind of sad. But that what you're describing, Flaccid, is what you're describing is like life. It's like not everybody can make their shit happen. Not everybody can get cast in the movie that they want to be cast in. Not everybody can fucking play a sport they want to play. Not everybody can, you sound like a leftist, dude. It's like everybody should be able to, women should be able to compete, man. Midgets should be allowed to play sports. Like, fuck off. I'm sorry. Just because you have no creative talent doesn't mean that your vision deserves to be seen by the world. Like, fuck. If you have a nice vision, maybe pay a fucking artist to make it, or make money if you really care about it. Make a lot of money in your life, and then like write a book. Pay an artist to like make, draw you a portrait of like a character that you like. Commission an artist. It's so dumb. I don't know, dude. Flaccid, we're in different like universes. Like, I don't understand. I genuinely don't understand what you're saying. Maybe if you were not in my comments, we're going to have to do a space and an actual conversation, because this is not working. Lofty's videos and memes like them are transformative by nature, where AI art is not. Yeah, I mean, they matter because the artists, the art they produce, not because of who they are. That's not necessarily true. Why do you think people coined the term Tarantino? Like, that's a Tarantino shot. It's like because they know who he is. They know his personality, like what he does to his movies specifically. Artists have signatures. They have signature styles. They have signature qualities about them. Artists have like Kurosawa was really, really famous at one point for filming everything. In all of his movies have like sequences where it's raining, and he got really good at like filming rain in a really interesting way, like weather. And like, look, that's just one example. Another example is Wes Anderson. Like, Wes Anderson is known for his framing. You can't divorce the artist from the art. You can't do it. Even if you try, it's like, oh, clearly that's a Wes Anderson movie. If you try desperately to take the artist out of the equation, it's not going to work, because everyone's going to just know that it's a Wes Anderson movie. You know what I mean? You can't do it. You can try. If you hate artists so much, you can like literally try to do that, but you can't. It's not going to work. Tarantino uses feet shots. Mike says they know who he is because of the movie he produced. Otherwise, he would just be a guy. Yeah, he made the movie. I don't know what you're saying. He made the movie. That's why. It's the product. Yeah, it's the product is not. I'm not saying the product's irrelevant. If you think I'm saying the product's irrelevant, you're stupid. You're just not listening. You're not listening. I'm saying the product is not exclusively the thing that anybody cares about. It's also the artist. It's also the person who made it. It's not just the product. Like, I'm not retarded. Clearly, the product has to exist. Otherwise, there wouldn't be a movie. Anyway, save it for Twitter space so I can call everyone retarded. Yeah, we can all just yell at each other and say, you know, like if we go to a Twitter space, I'll just be like, "You're a retard, you fucking dumbass fucking faggot," and then like, you know, flat, and then we'll just yell at each other. But anyway, I don't know what else to say. There's nothing. I don't want to argue with chat. It's not productive. Chat's at a disadvantage. I'm at an advantage. I'm at a disadvantage because I don't know what the half you're saying half the time. But I mean, this was a very fun stream, to be fair. To be fair. Now, guys, next week, I'm doing my horror movie tier list. We're going to talk about horror movies. I'm going to rank them. I'm going to have bad takes. I'm going to put a movie in S tier, and you're going to be like, that movie's terrible. What the fuck? I'm going to put a movie in F tier, and you're going to be like, the movie's a masterpiece. Fuck off. Lofty has no taste. Look, please come to my stream next Wednesday to talk about horror movies. And then that's going to be, and then I'm trying to get together I'm trying to get to Killers of the Flower Moon panel. I want to talk about that. I want to do I still want to do a Fall of the House of Usher panel. These might be off, like every Wednesday I stream, but I might just start streaming like Mondays and Fridays. Like alternately, like other days of the week also. Anyway, I am only a fig for Lofty. A fig. Look, it's not just the product that matters, it's the process behind the product. Not as correct. Nada. Based nada. If I forgot a super chat, I hate myself. We are entering the time where creation is becoming a democratization and guys, this is a major turning point. You don't even know. You guys don't know where we're going to be in 20 years. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Nobody knew we were going to be here 3 years ago. So don't get so cocky about your future. Don't get so fucking, oh, I know exactly what's going to happen. This is going to be totally fine. Nothing bad's going to ever happen. Like, just be careful. Be careful what you wish for. You know. I'm seeing dude, Sketch, I'm seeing Flower Moon tomorrow. You know what I'm doing? I'm right now when I hang up, when I get off this fucking phone, stream, I'm gonna play Mario Wonder for the next 3 hours. Then I'm gonna watch some Rurouni Kenshin, catch up on anime, which I just caught up on Kaizen last night, which is a fucking amazing show, Jujutsu Kaisen. Then, okay, tomorrow I'm going to see Flower Moon. Sunday I'm going to my dad's play. He's an actor, so I'm doing his local theater. I'm going to see his play Sunday. It's August Osage County. It's the play. It's really cool. Anyway, what else is happening? Lofty wants all of Hollywood elitists to gatekeep us from creating. No, it's not what I want. You're doing that, Flaccid. You're doing the thing which is you're doing the black and white thing. Anyone who disagrees with you wants to gatekeep everybody else from the entire industry 100% of the time. No, that's not what I'm doing. I actually think AI can be used in Hollywood. I don't want it to be used exclusively. I think AI can be used with, like, opening credits, for example. I don't really have a problem necessarily with that. If it's interesting, like an opening montage, like a title sequence, like, or maybe like AI generated dream sequence. Maybe a character in a movie has a dream, and maybe it's more interesting to use AI to make that dream sequence. You know, I wouldn't have a problem with that. Stop putting words in my mouth. Holy fuck. Same, Lofty Pixels. I was playing Sea of Stars during the stream. Dude, everybody should play Mario. This has been entertaining. Sketch, you're right. Abomination, AJ. Look, AJ, we'll have to network again soon. Have you not been on like streams lately with me? I don't even know what's going on. Anyway, what else? Fuck, there's other things going on, guys. There's David Fincher's movie comes out next month. I'm going to cover it. Napoleon comes out next month. I'm going to cover it. Hayao Miyazaki comes out soon. I'm going to do Miyazaki streams. I really want to have Chris Gore. He said he would come on. I just don't know what topic to talk to him about. Like, well, I'm going to have Chris Gore on. If Sam wants to come on, I'm going to have Sam, the guy who debated Shad. I'm going to have him on to talk about his book, which everybody should check out. It's called fuck, what's it called? Amygdala. Go to his thing. Here's his page. Sam Fennah. Do you guys want to just see a quick thing? I don't think people actually know what he does. Let's watch this. Ready? Let's watch this. It's not going to be long. I won't watch the whole thing.
Fall alive. Cars arrive. Buildings collapse. Only a few will survive. The world as we know it will no longer be there. Water is gone.
So wow.
The apocalypse.
Okay, guys. I have to stop because I don't want to play too much of this. But holy fuck, that's kind of epic. Look, think about that guy did all this himself, man. This is really, really clever animation. This is a showcase. Keep in mind, this is a showcase, animation showcase. Now, I'm telling you, this guy's very, very good animation design artist. Go check out his book, Amygdala. It's in his About Me. You know, you buy it. And he's a good writer. I already read part of the book. So anyway, other than that, fuck chat. What else is happening? His art looks like it was made by an AI. That's dumb. That's like, look, I've made AI that looks like it was made by an artist because it was stolen from an artist. But anyway, Flaccid is trolling everybody. Look, that's CG animation. I love Sam's work, but he ain't ever living the wall down. Dude, he didn't do the criticism of the wall. He just did the art. I've been hired to do stuff for people I don't even agree with, and I still do it. That doesn't mean anything. Now we're doing the AI. Everything sounds like AI meme. Guess what we're doing? Guess what the next thing is? Anytime anybody says anything, it's like people are going to start saying, oh, that was written by ChatGPT. Oh, that clearly was written by ChatGPT. It's like, it's going to become a meme where we're not going to be able to distinguish it from trolling or genuine criticism. Everyone's going to use it as like a troll, as meme. And it's like, it's going to become a problem, guys. Like, people are already making it a problem. It's like, oh, that looks like ChatGPT. That looks like AI. Like, I know it's fun to joke about, but like, I think that's a problem. Like, because sometimes, like, if you're wrong, you look dumb. Like, if you're wrong, you just look stupid. Like, anyway, it's funny to joke about, like, temporarily, because it's like a meme. Like, it's like a, you know, it's part of the fucking funny conversation. What the fuck else? Look, there's my Mario. There's Speed. I should Speed. No, this is what else is happening? Mark Hamill being gay again. Look, he tweets gay, 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 and then he tweets, I'm raising my hand. I'm raising my hand. Raise hand, because he wants Trump to like get voted out of office or something. Voting against Trump. He's gay. Then we got this. Fuck. There was one other thing I wanted to say before I left. Boy in the Heron looks amazing. I'm an AI design bad take. Oh, look, I made AI. I typed in my bio on Twitter. It says video editor, VTuber, cinephile, gamer. I typed this in on Midjourney and it pumped this out. I look like fucking Ben Shapiro eating dogs. Look, I'm eating dogs, guys. Look, I'm eating fucking little dogs, guys. And there's dogs on my screen and I look like Ben Shapiro. I don't know why. It's funny. Look, I think AI art is funny, man. AI art is really funny. I think this AI art sucks. But Whatever. That's his take. Everybody has different tastes. Here's my AI. Look at this. I made this in AI art. I made all 4 of these images. Look at this. I made this AI art album cover. It's based. This took me about an hour. Am I an artist? I don't think so. I think I made a meme. I made a meme. I think it's a meme. It's not really a work of art. Fucking, if you think I'm an artist for this, like I don't even want the compliment. Like it's cringe. Because I didn't really do much. But anyway, this was funny. This was funny. Kim Jong-un, Harambe, Gosling. You know? Here's my Friday the 13th AI. It's on my YouTube channel. It's kind of funny. I have one more that's funny. I think that's it. Everything else is pretty good to go. So, chat, I don't know what else to say. Now that is art. I know, right? It's art. You know what I think art is? I think people use the word art as like a kind of a meme. It's like if I punch the fuck out of somebody and beat them to a bloody pulp on the ground and they're just like writhing in pain. Somebody could just say, "Hello, Lofty, what you just did is a work of art. That is a work of art." Like, I don't know what the word means nothing anymore. Anyway, or if I just peed on a wall, it's like, that's a work of art. I don't know, guys. I don't know what we're doing anymore. Now I'm shrinking. Where am I going? Help. Where am I? The quantum realm. Ant-Man, come and get me. Oh my God. Ant-Man. Paul Rudd. Help me. Paul Rudd. Help. Oh my God. This is Jonathan Majors. Jonathan Majors is gonna beat me up. Jonathan Majors is gonna beat me. Jonathan Majors is gonna fucking domestic abuse me. Whoa, I lost my mind for a second. Bro, you made that with AI? You hate it now? Yeah, I hate you. Martial arts? That's different. If I did it in a way that looks like Jet Li just beat the fuck out of somebody, that's different. That's kind of a work of art. It's kind of an art. Anyway, guys, fuck. I don't know what to do anymore. I'm just gonna log off. There's so much more to talk about, but I can't. I have to go play Mario Wonder. Thanks for sticking around, everybody. Thanks for the super chats. We had a productive day today. I did not expect Friday of all days to people to hang out in chat and just fucking. Anyway, thanks for joining. Once again, sub to Sean and Shadiversity. Sub to Shad. You're already sub to Shad. Hit the notification bell and whatever. Fuck. Leave a comment after the stream's over. That actually would help. I just hiccuped. Leave a comment after the stream's done. Just leave a little. No, don't fucking leave a comment because then you're gonna troll me. All right, guys. I'm gonna go play Mario Wonder and drink. You could think you're gonna beat the shit out of me, Flaccid, but I could count on one hand the amount of people that have beat me in a debate. Ever. Now, man, we'll say you could alter. People live in their own alternate realities where, trying to think of a debate that was dominated by somebody. Trying to think of a famous debate. I don't know. Whatever. Guys, fuck. Thanks for joining. Bye, everybody. Bye, Jonah. Bye, Flaccid. Bye, Mike. CG. Lucifer. Sketch. Follow me on Twitter. Maybe we'll do a space about this and you guys can join and talk about it. But, alrighty. I'm signing off. Before I sign off, I'm doing this. Whoever stuck around this long gets a bonus. This is funny. I just realized that this exists.
I am regarded as something of a whopper.
I am in the new Wonka movie. Are you ready? Fuck. No, fuck.
They call me lofty.
Wait. Wait. Wait, where's the thing? Here it is. I gotta make it bigger. Ready?
I am regarded as something of a whopper. They call me lofty. They call me lofty.
Sorry.
Oh no!
They call me lofty.
I'm in the movie!
They call me lofty.
Lofty!
Is the Grizzly Reaper mowing?
They call me lofty.
Yes! The danger must be growing, for the rowers keep on rowing.
They call me lofty.
And they're certainly not showing any signs that they are slowing.
In fact, in Lumperland, I am regarded as something of a whopper. They call me lofty.
Sorry.
Loompa, loompa-dee-doo. I got a Glock and it's pointed at you. Oompa,
They call me lofty.
doompa-dee-doo.
They call me lofty.
I got a job and it's perfect for you.
They call me Lofty. Lofty Pixels. Lofty Pixels signing out. Good night, everybody. Cheerio. Au revoir. Whatever the fuck the British people say to say goodbye. I don't know what the fuck they fucking throw fucking briskets at you. And tea. They drop the tea on the ground and it breaks. And whatever the fuck. Bye, everybody.